All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Allah and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. And we're going to pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life. And they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. If I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. And if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you. Even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. For if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Come on, Sibo. John 3 and 22.
After these things came Yahushua and the disciples into the land of Judea, and there he tarried with them and baptized. And John also was baptizing in Anon near the Salim, because there was much water there. They came and were baptized. But John was not yet cast into prison. Then there arose a question between some of John's disciples and the Yahudims about purifying. And they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with you beyond Jordan, to whom you bear witness, behold, the same baptized, and all men come to him. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except to be given him from Shamayim. Mm-hmm. You yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Hamashiach, but I am sent before him. Mm-hmm. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom which stand and hear him rejoice greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Mm-hmm. This is my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. Mm-hmm. He must increase, but I must decrease. Mm-hmm. He that come from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly, and speak of the earth. And he that come from Shamayim is above all. And what he have seen and heard, that he testified, and no man received his testimony. He that have received his testimony have set to his seal that Alahym is true.
He that have received his testimony has set to his seal that Alahym is true. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 8 and 1.
All the commandments which I command you this day shall you observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yahuwah swore unto your fathers. Mm-hmm. You shall remember all the way which Yahuwah your Alahym led you these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you and to prove you.
To do what?
To humble you and to prove you, and to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. And he humbled you and suffered you to hunger and fed you with manna, which you knew not, neither did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man do not live by bread only, but by every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yahuwah do man live.
Now pause, read verse 3 again. Now what did we talk about on Wednesday? Aside from the fact that Satan is a buster and a coward, but we were talking about to humble you and to prove you, whether you would keep his instructions or not. But before we even go to where I was going to ask you, I want you to go to Luke 22. And I want you to read verse 22. And tell me what that say. Luke 22 and 22.
And truly the Son of Man go as it was determined, but woe unto that man by whom he is betrayed.
Indeed.
And they began to inquire among themselves which of them it was that should do this thing. Mm-hmm. There was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest.
That's right.
He said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. Mm-hmm. You shall not be so, but he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief, as he that do serve. Mm-hmm. For whether is greater, he that sit at meat or he that serve?
Right.
It's not he that sit at meat, but I among you as he that serves.
What else?
You are they which have continued with me in my temptations.
You are they that continue with me in my what?
In my temptations.
In my what?
My temptations.
What else?
And I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Abba have appointed unto me.
That's good. Give them temptations by definition, man. You know about that song?
That is parasmos. That is an experiment, attempt, a trial, a proving. A trial made of you by bodily conditions, since conditions served as a test of love of the Galatians.
But serve as a test of what?
Test the love of the Galatians towards Paul, or the trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy.
How steadfast he gonna be on general principle. Isaiah 52 and 3. On general principle.
But thus saith Yahuwah, you have sold yourselves for nothing.
You'll be real.
You redeemed without money.
What else?
But thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, my people went down aforetime into Egypt, sojourned there, and the Assyrian oppressed them without cause. Mm-hmm. Now therefore, what have I here, saith Yahuwah, that my people is taken away for nothing? They that rule over them make them the house, saith Yahuwah. My name continually every day is blasphemed. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that do speak. Behold, it is I.
Pause. Isaiah 48:2. Shalom, Brother Rob.
But they call themselves of the Kadash city and stay themselves upon the Alahym Yasharal.
Shalom,
Host is his name. God declared the former things from the beginning.
That's right.
And they went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Because I knew that you are obstinate, and your neck is an iron sinew, and your brow brass. Say, I've even from the beginning.
What's happening, Sean, man?
Declared it to you before it came to pass. I showed it you, lest you should say, my idol have done them, and my graven image and my molten image have commanded them. You have heard, see all this, and will not you declare it? I have showed you new things from this time, even hidden things, and you did not know them. They are created now, and not from the beginning, even before the day when you heard them not, lest you should say, behold, I knew them. Yea, you heard not, yea, you knew not. You from that time that your ear was not open, for I knew that you would deal very treacherously, and was called a transgressor from the womb. For my name's sake will I defer my anger, and for my praise will I refrain for you, that I cut you not off.
That's right.
Behold, I have refined you.
I've what?
Refined you.
And taken you.
But not with silver. I have chosen you.
In the what?
Furnace of affliction.
I want you to give them refined, chosen, and affliction.
Refined is saraf.
That's the word you know. Refined, the test. Go ahead. Sloan, Mika.
Chosen is bakar, to choose, elect, to decide for.
So he's listening, right? He said, I'm going to test you, and I've chosen you for affliction. What is that?
Affliction is oni, affliction, poverty, misery.
Misery, pain. So now I want you to go to Matthew 20:20. Run it.
Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him, desiring a certain thing of him. He said unto her, what will you? She said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on your right hand, the other on the left, in your kingdom.
In your kingdom.
But Yahushua answered and said, you know not what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?
You able to go through this affliction that I'm going through? Listen what he say.
They say unto him, we are able.
What he say?
He said unto them, you shall drink indeed of my cup.
And you are
baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized
That's
with.
right.
But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them.
Now that's good. Now, with that being said, we went through all that. Go back to Luke 22, what it was, 27. You were those who were with me in my temptations. Go ahead.
So for whether is greater, he that sit at meat or he that served, it's not he that sit at meat, but I'm among you as he that served.
What else?
You are they which have continued with me in my temptations. And I have put unto you a kingdom.
As my Abba have. Now he said you've continued with me in my temptations. So Hebrews 4:14 on general principle. All this is spinning from Deuteronomy 8:2. Go ahead.
Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into Shamayim, Yahushua the son of Alahym, let us hold fast our profession.
Hold fast.
For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are.
All points what?
Tempted as we as we are.
Yet without what?
Without sin.
Paul, give him tempted right there, man. And after that, give me Proverbs 25:4.
The first word is a parazo, that is to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, to endeavor, to try, to make a trial of, to test, for the purpose of ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he'll behave himself.
Now, what did we read in Deuteronomy 8:2? You shall remember all the way which Yahuwah your Alahym led you these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you, because we talked about the humble part on Wednesday, to prove you and to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or no.
And then the other word is paral, that is to make a trial of, to attempt, to test, to make a trial of one, to put him to proof, his mind, sentiments, temper.
His mind, his sentiments, and his temper. So before we read Proverbs 25:4, give me John 12:48. Then give me John 10:14. Now, excuse me, and 17. Because what we're proving here is the sufferings that Mashiach went through was to prove whether he would keep his commandments or no. But we're not talking about the commandments like everybody else talking about the commandments, talking about not eating pork, not committing adultery, and this, that, there, and the third. But keeping the commandment of going to suffer and die, because that's the commandment that he would give. Ain't no need of him to send him the commandment to keep the Torah. That's already a given. That's already there. That's not what I'm sending you to do. Case in point. Hold on. Because I'm going to have to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Go ahead, sis.
So he that reject me and receive not my words have one that judge him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day.
Go ahead.
For I have not spoken of myself, but the Abba which sent me. He
Yes,
gave
sir.
me a commandment, what I should
He
say.
gave me a what?
A commandment, what I should say.
And what I should
speak.
And I know that his commandment is
life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the opposite unto me, so I speak.
John 10 and 17.
Therefore do my Abba love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again.
My Abba love me because he do what?
Because I lay down my life, that I might take it again.
Listen what he say.
No man take it from me, but I lay it down on myself.
This,
I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again.
This commandment,
have I received of my Abba.
This commandment,
have I received of my Abba.
So the power to lay his life down and raise from the dead. I got this instruction from my daddy. My daddy told me I had to die. You know what I'm talking about? Now go to Proverbs 25 and 4. This will take us back to the furnace of affliction with the chosen silver, so on and so forth.
Take away the dross from the silver, there shall come forth a vessel for the finer.
Give him finer one more time. Y'all remember we talked about this.
That is saraf, to smelt, refine, to test.
Come back through the test. You know what I'm saying? You come out better on the back end. Tell them what dross is in case they forgot.
That is soothe, a moving back or away, dross, usually of silver, in the sense of refuse. Getting
rid of the bad. Now, in the aspect of Mashiach, he ain't getting rid of the bad as forth as he has sin. But let's go to Romans 8 and 1. We read it Wednesday in a different context. This is what he getting rid of. Come on with it.
There is therefore now no condemnation, to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Why?
Who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach.
After the who?
After the Ruach.
Why?
For the law of the Ruach of life and Hamashiach Yahushua had made me free from the law of sin and death.
What else?
What the law could not do, and that it was weak through the flesh, Alahym sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin. And
that's getting rid of the refuse. You know what I'm saying? That's getting rid of the corruptible to replace it with the incorruptible. But now I mentioned, okay, he didn't send him with no law, statutes, and commandments per se. He gave him an instruction to do something explicit. Let's look at an example of someone who was given an instruction to do something explicit, but he didn't do it though. 1 Kings 13 and 1. Come on with it.
And behold, there came a man of Alahym out of Yehuda by the word of Yahuwah unto Bethel, and Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar in the word of Yahuwah and said,
what do you say?
Altar, altar, thus saith Yahuwah, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name.
By name.
Upon you shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon you, and men's bones shall be burnt upon you.
What up?
And he gave a sign the same day, saying, this is the sign which Yahuwah has spoken. Behold, the altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. And it came to pass when King Jeroboam heard.
See, Paul, you know what's funny? Because we right in front of 12 and 25, right? Of Kings. And we were talking about this the other day. And I want to run this down, and I want to make sure that y'all remember, because I just looked up and I see the header right here that say 2 golden calves. Pardon the interruption, you know, the interlude, the intermission. You know what I'm saying? The what they call it on the album? I can't remember. Interlude was probably it. Read 12 and 25 of 1 Kings 12. And you know why I'm reading this here? Because this gonna go into something in Daniel, in 2 places in Daniel, which will tie to something in Revelation, which is going to tie to something that we talked about on Wednesday, which your trial of your faith is more precious than gold, even though that's just dealing with life situations. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like to hear that because they want to look at, you know what I'm saying, every situation word-wise going to be smooth and comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The reality of life is not smooth and comfortable per se. You know what I'm saying? Even when you got a little bit of money. I say this here because, you know, because we were talking about this here in a different fashion. This is something I done told y'all before. Because what we talking about, man? You know, some content creator lady. But what it was, my dog was talking about, you know, Vietnamese women. And he was like, you know, they so submissive. And I've told you this before. It is a common misconception a common misconception. You know what I'm saying? In regards to the pedestalizing of non-black women in contrast to black women. That black women are so unsubmissive and white women and Asian women are so submissive until you actually surround yourselves with these people, which most of our people haven't done. And you find out really, really quickly that they are not what you think they are or what you have romanticized them to be. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you something real, man. As much trash as you might see people talk, you know, black women give a lot of leeway that other races of women won't give. Consequently, black men give a lot of leeway that the races of other men won't give. Now, I will say this here when it comes to the races of other men put up with a lot more tomfoolery from women than black men will tolerate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white dudes tolerate a lot of tomfoolery. This is why they be so frustrated and snap and kill everybody in the house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that because this happens. I think I've told you this before. White women have a master's degree, a doctorate in emasculation. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely, all the way around the board. So, with that being said, what I told you finna grab? My mind don't went.
First Kings told me to.
Yeah. So with that being said, I mentioned that because when you get to the certain things that, you know, as far as testing is concerned, you're gonna find out real fast that the romanticized idea that everything in the word in your life, because you in the word, should be this, that, and that's what you think people, because people have money or material items, that their lives are smooth. You know what I'm saying? That they have no problems. Consequently, a lot of people look at people in the word and think their life is in always constant upheaval. That's not necessarily true. But then also you have those who they suffer many things. All of these things are for the purposes of what we read in Deuteronomy 8. It's to humble you. And it's to prove you, to see what's in your heart. Notice one of those definitions of proof was constancy. What is constancy? That is the ability to stay steadfast no matter the situation or circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Most of us use the word, you know, persevere or to have grit. Because usually when you have a constant repetition of trials and tribulations, if you would, for lack of a better term, or adversity or difficulties or afflictions, whatever adjective that you want to describe, peace, brother Omar, man, a lot of people will quit. You know what I'm saying? This is why we read what we read in Isaiah 40 on Wednesday, by he'll strengthen the weary, so on and so forth. This is why we've always talked about what's in Philippians 4. He say, don't be anxious for nothing, and that, you know, think on these things. This is why the Lord told you which one of you by taking one thought can add 1 cubit to your life. He say, take no thought for your life or have no anxiety or worry for it. Now, a lot of people will hear that and they'll be like, nah. And I understand why you would respond in that fashion. But individuals who put their whole mind, heart, and soul in Alahym do not think in this fashion. And truth be told, the reality of life is that is a difficult endeavor for a majority of people, because you're concerned about what I'm going to eat, where I'm going to stay, how am I going to pay for this, how am I going to do this, and how I'm going to do that. And this is why he says the seed that fall amongst the thorns, it get choked off because the cares or the anxieties of this life choke off the word, along with the deceitfulness of riches. See, people want to hear these things, and the first thing that we want to click in our brain is, I won't go out like that. And the reality is, you probably will, because that was your first response. You know what I'm talking about? In contrast to prayerfully, he keep my mind stayed on him. See, what were we talking about? It's just the same token that people read stuff in the word, and you see these people in these times going by, and you talk about what you would or you wouldn't do. Just like we was having a conversation yesterday about objective and subjective morality. I'm not going to get into the details of that. People giving up certain scenarios. And the reality is, with most scenarios, is you don't know what you're going to do if you ain't ever been faced or tasked with that situation. Like people, now for me, some things is just a given. Like I've said this before on here, and I'll say it again. Individuals ask a question in regards to saying, like, hey, if your wife was pregnant and it came down to they had to save her or the baby, what you gonna do? Save my wife, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We can make another baby. You know what I'm saying? But the funny part is, I hear a grown man, nah, save my baby, woo, woo, woo. You moving like a woman, blood, because what does you mean? Nigga, if your wife is pregnant, man, and her life at risk, my nigga, and you like say the baby, let my wife die, that tells me how you feel about that woman and consequently the quality of the woman you got. You know what I'm talking about? Because, boy, if you know you had a soldier on your team, you're going to be like, save my wife. We're going to have some pain, obviously, because our child has died. Let's not be stupid on the matter. It's going to be a painful situation. It's going to be a time period where it's going to have some difficult interactions because that's a loss, my nigga. But nevertheless, we can get through that loss together. Nigga, you want your wife to die? What you go? You know what a lot of you goofy niggas gonna do? Try to find another woman to come in and parent your child, my nigga. You's a goofy. You know what I'm saying? That don't even make common sense, bro. You only want another woman to come in and parent that child because you didn't want the woman you had. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you made a covenant with your wife, not with your children, my nigga. Man, save my old lady, cuz what is you talking about? And I don't give a damn what damn nigga think or say about that. Because if you be like, no, save my baby, man, you just told me your wife trash, my nigga. I can see if the woman say that. But a lot of women will say that till you face with death, and then you'll be like, you know what? Shoot, I want to live. Because again, we could make another baby. You know what I mean? Boy, if you got you somebody you love, boy, you can't replace them. You ain't never even seen it. Nigga asked a question. Mom Dukes actually asked a question. If your wife was pregnant with a child and they told you that child would have no cognitive function outside the purposes of feeling pain, would you want that child to be born? Now that's a difficult ask for somebody, but I ain't gonna tell you no lie because I'm thinking it from my personal perspective. Nigga, if all my child could feel his pain, man, let that baby die, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because you ain't keeping that baby alive for no other reason than your own selfish reasons to go standing here in a hospital room and just look at this baby in the bed. I'm telling you right now, boy, if I was in a vegetative state, my nigga, man, let me die, my nigga. Don't come in no hospital room. I'm hooked up all these tubes, nigga. I don't know what's going on. Just so y'all can stay in here and look at my body, man. You ain't doing that for me. You doing that for yourself. Go ahead and let me ride on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need to keep me alive. I'm not there. I've always told you this here, man, and I learned this very early, man. Death don't affect who's dying. It affects those that left behind. Because once they dead, they don't know they dead. They may know they finna die right before it happens. Once that happens, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? And you have to consider these things. Say my papa was Jehovah's Witness, say he would save his wife before us. I didn't understand then now, but I do now. Yeah, man, absolutely. You know why? Because your daddy love your mama. Your daddy love your mama. You know what I'm saying? That means, hey, man, well, I love these children, boy. But nigga, that's my wife, my nigga. We could make some more. We would talk about you. We'll keep some photographs on the wall. But we can make some more. And some people hear that. What about the kid? Man, you better say that. That's your emotions talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking from no emotional space. Period. I love my children, but yeah, man, save my wife, cuz. Yeah. That's what you do. Straight up and down. You say that's what he always. Hey, straight up and down. I'm not speaking for no place of emotion. I love my old lady, my nigga. Yeah, save my old lady, bro. Straight like that. You know what I'm talking about? We can have some old children, man. And if we too old, I guess we can't have none. But if you talking about save her, save the children, that means we ain't that old. We ain't too old to have some more. Remember, man, all Job's children died. He gave him some more. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he give me some more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't got no shame with that. Some people got shame with that because you get tested, you see what's in your heart. See, every situation and circumstance that you enter into in life is going to test you to see what's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Some situations test to see how much you love God, love your spouse, love your children, love your brothers, all that there, man. Hell, even love yourself. Yeah, you got to pay attention to that. You just motoring around, scooting around, moving off emotion, man. Man, you can't live your life based on how you feel. Because you think that's the answer you supposed to give. Save my children. You know what I'm talking about? Because you think that make you so noble, knowing full well you won't. Nah, nigga, save my. Now, see, some women be like, nah, let my husband die. But guess what? If that woman really love her husband, she going to be like this here. Now I save my husband, nigga. Because as a man, you would have to look at your old lady crazy. You want me to die, nigga? That's how you see me, huh? God damn. I got to make sure I take you off as a beneficiary. The crazy thing is when people get scared, the baby going to go to hell and never understood that thought process. No, I'm sure. Man, listen. It's a hard decision. Now, I only mention that now for me, that situation and scenario is not a hard decision. But there are some scenarios where, bro, you're not going to know what you're going to do until you faced with that situation. The only thing you can say is what you would hope that you would have the mind to do, because you don't know. And when I say you don't know, because everybody likes to say what they would do in high stress situations until they end one. And you know why I say that? Because most people have not lived a life where they were consistently or constantly had to perform under high levels of distress. You know what I'm saying? What you call distress is just emotional upheaval because you don't know how to regulate your emotions. You know what I'm saying? But you really wasn't in a high stress situation. You know what I'm saying? It might have been high stress in your mind, and that's fine. I'm not trying to diminish that to you, but in the reality war, it wasn't that serious though. And I know people don't like to hear that because you feel like you're getting dismissed like a fourth grade class. But some things not, bro. You weren't under no stress, bro. Okay. There's some people who've been under real deal stress, and they had to make life or death decisions under that stress. And then it hit different then. So I'm mentioning that because what we're going to read in Daniel, because when it comes to that testing, you're going to have to make a real deal life or death decision in regards to what you're going to do under stress. And it's going to also pertain to what we're about to read in 2 Kings 12. And it's the same token of, I won't say stress in 1 Kings 13, but obviously Yahushua was under distress because he said he was exceedingly sorrowful even unto death. And even under that distress, he had to make the decision. Am I going to do what my father commanded me to do, or am I going to do what it is that I want to do? And we know how that panned out. So come on with 1 Kings 12 and 25.
Say then Jeroboam built Shechem and Mount Ephraim and dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Penuel. Jeroboam said in his heart,
what he said?
Now shall the kingdom return to the house of David.
If the people
should go up to do sacrifice in the house of Yahuwah at Jerusalem,
then shall the heart of the people
turn again unto their Lord,
even unto
Rehoboam king of Yehuda,
and they shall what?
Kill me
and go again to who?
Rehoboam king of Yehuda.
So what he did?
Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold.
My God, today.
And said unto them,
is it too much
for you to go up to Jerusalem?
Behold,
your gods, O Yasharal,
which brought you up
out of the land of Egypt.
Now he repeating the mistake that happened in the wilderness in Exodus. But let's continue. And
he said one in Bethel,
and he put the other.
And Dan.
So he put one in the house of God that was in Bethel at the time. Come on with it, blood.
And this thing became a sin for the people who went to worship.
This thing became a what?
A sin.
It became a what?
A sin.
Now, how does this thing become a sin? Because number one, you ain't got no business bowing down to no idol of God, my nigga. That's what you ain't got no business doing. But come on with it, blood.
Said for people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan, and he made a house of high places and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi.
Which were not of the what?
Of the sons of
so
Levi.
These people ain't even had no business operating. This is the second sin. Now you done bow down to a golden calf. You got men operating as priests who ain't no priests, and you took the base of the people to do it. But hold on, he finna multiply.
And Jeroboam ordained a feast.
He did what?
Ordained a feast.
And what month?
The 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is in Yehuda.
Like the feast that's into what?
In Yehuda.
So what feast he copying, Sylvia?
The 8th month, that was like a tabernacle.
Yeah, he recreated. He said, that's so true. I think about it every day. What I could, I already know. Shoot, you who would strengthen your heart. I already know you. That means you love that man. See, unfortunately, the reality in this particular society, man, is a lot of people marry the people they don't love like that. Remember, I always told you, gentlemen, man, if you look at a woman and be like, "What I die for," and you got to pause and think about it, you don't love that woman like that. Now, that doesn't mean she's a bad woman. That means you don't love her enough to die for her. So if you don't love her enough to die for her, what you marrying her for? But here's the kicker: it even go even further. Some niggas don't even love people enough to live for them. You know what that means? Putting that goddamn hot dog down, putting that liquor down, that beer down, picking that barbell up. You know what I'm talking about? Go run, nigga, go walk. Actually, put yourself in a position if you who will see fit and to be merciful to extend your days because you took care of your body enough to where it wouldn't break down on you and you die. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I talked to my dog today, man. That nigga told me, man, his kidneys failing. He had caught a old blood infection, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, when you run across certain things, man, you go to look at it. Sometimes they may not necessarily even deal with your people per se. Sometimes it can be a fight to be like, boy, I got to do this for 10, 15, 20 years to stay alive. That's why you see some people when they do certain stuff, they be like, bump this junk, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. Or I'm going to do this here or do this here. Because that's a fight that, man, you got to do something consistent. I ain't even talking about, oh, you trying to be healthy. I'm like, you got to do this so you don't die. You know what I'm saying? Every day. Because what that nigga told me, this nigga younger than me. This nigga about 10 years younger than me. You understand me? Damn, man, hold on, let me think. I know that boy about 16 then. Yeah, so I'm about almost 10 years older than him. You know what I'm saying? And here's the nigga say, boy, my kidneys failing. Shalom, brother Mar. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shoot, mine ain't they ain't necessarily bad, but we in the early stage. That nigga say, boy, this John failing, boy. Nigga ain't even 40 yet. You know what I'm saying? I told her, in my mind, I was like, that's the stress his wife would get. She was stressing him out. I ain't never like her no way. You know what I'm talking about? I'm for real, man. I don't never like nobody who would. See, it's one thing, man, people do stuff and it don't necessarily be intentional. It's another thing when people purposely and intentionally seek to stress somebody out. And that's what she was doing. That's why I ain't care for her. You going out your way to bring this nigga stress, to bring this nigga pain, to get him locked up, doing whatever. Come on, man. What you want? You know what I'm saying? You say you just seen that clip with Rick Ross' fiance. You can tell she don't love him at all. I mean, you ever seen Rick Ross? I ain't even talking about his physical aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about how he moving. You could tell that boy don't lead with who he is. He lead with his money. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that by how he moved. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you could tell he's a goofy. So it's going. Any woman who was gonna fool with him for him, she had to fool with him before he got the bread. And you seen his first baby mama before he got the bread. That woman, that's something else. That woman, that's something else. She scared me. Yes, definitely one day at a time. Yeah, she scared me. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen that nigga baby mama?
Not from his daughter. It's my daughter mama.
I don't know nothing about which one it is. I just know it's that Tia Kemp lady. That lady scared me.
Oh, but she actually was with him like at the verge of his time. He got babies older than that.
Yeah, she scared me. She seemed like she bite people. Look like she bite people when they sleep.
But she said she had like that because of him. Because he never took care of his kids.
I can't speak to none of that. But,
That's what she said.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to none of that.
That's what she said. Why she dressed like that? She said she had to be the nigga because he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what they always say. But you was probably the nigga the whole time.
I'm pretty sure.
Ain't nobody, you don't start acting like that because a nigga don't take care of his kids. You been acting like that. And then when he don't fool with you no more, you know what I'm saying? Now you want to blame it on that. You know what I'm saying? No. She definitely look like she bite people.
I'm pretty sure she did.
You know what I'm saying? Get mad. Oh, nigga. Like, you're not an animal, baby. You're a woman. You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously, I'm talking about that. Look at, man, it's a lot of people, man. Friends, family, spouses, shoot. Sometimes parent to child, child to parent. Niggas don't really love each other for real, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's ugly out here. That's why so many people out here be angry. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody love them. That's why I'm telling you. And I've seen that firsthand. It's a lot of people who walk around here who angry all the time, man, because ain't nobody even thought about, damn, nigga, you doing all right? Here's a hug for you. As a child. Ain't nobody hug this nigga. They gave this nigga a Kid Cuisine and a Game Boy and said, leave me alone. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That make angry adults, man. Listen, man, I done seen dudes, man, they had that love from their mama, man, and boy grew up to be stone cold killers. But I also knew dudes who mamas did love them and they were stone cold killers. So you never know. But go ahead, sir. Verse 32, 1 Kings 2.
Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is in Yehuda.
And he offered up what?
Upon the altar, so did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves that he had made. He placed in Bethel.
Now he's sacrificing to another god.
The priests of the high places which he had made. So he offered upon the altar which he had made in Bethel, the 15th day of the 8th month, even in the month which he had devised of his own heart.
That he devised of his own what?
Of his own heart.
Of his own what?
Of his own heart.
And what he did?
He ordained the feast unto the children of Yasharal, and he offered upon the altar.
So now he making his own tabernacles, right? Go to Daniel 7:25. Listen.
He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and a dividing of time.
Read it again.
So he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Pause. This is blasphemies. You understand? What else he gonna do?
Shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Pause. Tell him what wear out means.
That is belong, to wear away, to wear out, to harass constantly. Or to afflict.
To afflict. This is what Daniel 11 will come into play soon. Continue.
He's saying, and think to change times and laws.
Pause. Give him change, times, and laws. See, this is the verse that people see the Roman Catholic Church changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. This verse not talking about that. This verse not talking about that. Because they didn't change no Sabbath, man. They just made up their own Sabbath. The Sabbath is still there. Just like that feast day was still there in the seventh month of the 15th day of the month. That didn't change. Remember, he said he devised one of his own heart. Now, the beast is going to do the same thing, but give him change.
That is Shana. That is to change the altar.
Now, the better thing is he's to alter things. But let's look what them times is, though.
That is Zaman. That is a set time, a season.
A time or a season. That's literally what you see Jeroboam doing, changing a set time or a season. I'm going to alter it, and I'm going to come up with one out of my own heart so y'all can come up in the field, because I don't want you to go to Jerusalem. I want you to stay here. Go ahead.
And the laws is doth, the decree, the law.
Continue. Oh, that's good. So now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Revelation 13:5.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue.
What's happening, Rohan?
42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemy against Alahym, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in Shamayim. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them.
To over what?
To overcome them.
Well,
and power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations.
I'm going to ask y'all a question. What is the situation or circumstance that will necessitate, which will cause the beast to change times and laws? What event? We didn't actually read it, so you're going to have to draw from your own memory. What is necessitating him doing this? Keep reading those, Civic. What do they think on that?
And all that dwell upon the rats shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Let him hear.
He that leadeth to captivity shall go into captivity.
Uh-huh.
He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Uh-huh.
Here's the patience and faith of the saints.
Mm-hmm.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the rats, and he had two horns like a lamb.
Like a lamb.
As a serpent.
Spake as a serpent. We talked about that last night. If he speak as a serpent, guess what he's speaking at? A liar, a slanderer, a deceiver. Continue. Now, I won't be the two olive branches in this instance.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the rats and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Oh, there go your clue right there. Go ahead.
And he do great wonders, so that he make fire come down from Shamayim on the Arats in the sight of men.
What else?
And deceive them that dwell on the Arats by the means of those miracles.
What else?
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
What did he do after
saying
that?
to them that dwell on the Arats that they should make an image to the beast who had the wound by a sword and did live.
Oh, to make a who? To make an image to this beast. So to answer that question, when you understand the word, this man will have understanding of dark sentences. This individual will seek to make intelligence with those who forsake the Kadash covenant. This man's desire is for you to believe that he is the anointed one. Listen, let me tell you something, right? Because we were talking about this earlier. Dude, I know who don't believe in the Lord. I don't have no smoke with him in this aspect because of this reason. He says he doesn't have an issue with Yahusha. You know what I'm saying? He says he sees him as a great rabbi, a master teacher. He just don't see him as an anointed one. He says he has a problem, as he would term it, as JC, because when he say JC, he say he's not referring to the man in the text. He's referring to the construct that's been sold to the masses that is not the anointed one. See, a lot of people have a problem with that. And the reason why I ain't got no smoke with him per se is this. We read Acts 18 about this. We read Acts 28 about this. If we was to transport ourselves back in time in the first century, there were some people that when Yahusha was preached from Genesis to Malachi, some believed and some did not. Now, the difference is some don't have all the vitriol and disparaging comments that some people have in these days and times that they do, in my opinion, just to be performative. You know what I'm saying? Because we were talking about that this morning also, is that a lot of people feel like, it's about how much information that you can dispense and not necessarily how you live and how you move. Case in point, because this is what we were discussing. Niggas saying, is it about taking care of your community or preaching the gospel? A dude said the gospel is the first and foremost. And to a certain extent, I don't disagree with that. But also the reality is people who not in these quote unquote religious circle and move, man, they don't give a damn about your doctrine, right? I told him this is a true story. I've told some of y'all that we heard this here, because I told him this before, because I seen this happen in real time. It was only funny to us because we were just reading that in the Epistle of James maybe a day or two before. But there was a dude that my sister was trying to kick it with. He got invited to a church out east to drop some word or whatever the case may be. We went, and her best friend, Leanna. We all go down there. Nigga, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. It's about 2012, 2013. You know what I'm saying? And nigga, we broke as the two tables of stone. You understand me? All three of us, for that matter. So let's just be clear about that. We all down there. You hear me? We go around there. We sit around there, hear what these people talking about. When we leave and out. When I say we out east, we on 8th Street. We on about 8th and, I want to say 8th and Hubbard. You know what I'm talking about? Dude walk up, man. You see the hospital band on his arm. Blood like this here, man. I just got out of the hospital from a diabetic coma. I'm down bad. Woo, woo, woo. I just need something to eat. This is what he come to these Christian people and say to them. And you know what they want to do? Literally what it said in James. You want to tell this man be warm and filled and preach some gospel on him and say we'll pray for you, but you ain't give him nothing that was needful to the body. Well, we watched that happen. You know what I'm saying? At that particular point, I might have been in the word about 3 years. I think Nell had been in the word maybe a year or so. Well, at least knew about certain things. Maybe a year or so before I came home from prison. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had much. The three of us pulled a little bread together like, man, go get you something to eat, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Why did I mention that? Blood. You outside and you around people, man, ain't nobody trying to hear no doctrinal background, boy, and they down bad, boy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Because you could have magnified. Listen, right? When you look at Mashiach, and I said this earlier today, right? And I've told y'all this before. A lot of people in the word be more focused on, we're going to feed the homeless. We're going to do this here. We're going to do this here. Meanwhile, it's people in the household of the faith. Niggas about to be homeless. Niggas hungry. Niggas naked. You don't give a damn about them. You know what I'm saying? Because you really want to go out here and do this other stuff so you can post and brag and look at what we're doing in the community. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. But remember, and I mentioned it, I'm like, blood, what did the Lord say, man? When I was in jail, you came and seen me. When I was sick, you came and tended to me. When I was homeless, you housed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say, man, when I was hungry, you gave me a doctrine. He didn't say when I was naked, you gave me a breakdown. That's not what he did. I say, man, you niggas so goofy that you don't even know that you don't even have the skill and dexterity that you can manifest the gospel in your deeds. And if you're skillful enough when opportunity comes, you can still drop word at them at the same time. But the thing that you should be focusing on is displaying the character of your God. I've told you that for years, man. It's better to try to win people with your lifestyle than to win them over while constantly running up on them with information. Because people who not in this, they not looking at your doctrine. They looking at how you move, blood. That's how they look. That's what they looking at. And I would tell them niggas how I can tell you niggas don't go outside and talk to real people. You stay in this bubble of people arguing the word. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise you, when you go outside amongst real people, they don't care about none of this stuff that niggas be arguing about. They don't. They don't. They don't care nothing about you saying, oh, we the children of Israel. Nigga, I'm hungry. And this be the key point too. If you ever been hungry before, I don't even see how you wouldn't even be moved to feed somebody. I know you wanted somebody to feed you when you were down bad and your stomach was touching your back. This goes back to the point we were talking about the other day. This is why this man say it behooved him to not take on the nature of Alahym, but to be made like unto his brethren, so that he might be a faithful and merciful high priest, so he might understand your suffering, so he went through it. This is part of the reason why the apostles and other individuals go through these sufferings. This is how you're able to relate to an individual to have mercy on them. But individuals don't look at it that way, because we look at things from a selfish point of view, for lack of a better term. I don't want to use selfish per se, but you know, first person shooter is your viewpoint, because you don't understand that's what a lot of them sufferings is for. We talk about this here. This man went through the sufferings of childbirth, maybe not how a natural woman go through it, so that he could be an aid and a help to relief to a woman who going through childbirth, because he understands your pain. The easiest person to be able to have mercy on you is somebody who's been through what you experienced. That's how they can be able to have empathy for you. An individual really can't have empathy for you if they did not experience something directly themselves. They can have sympathy for you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you hear that term a lot on the internet. Men don't have empathy. I can't have empathy for something I never experienced. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I can put myself in your shoes because I never experienced that. The only thing I can have for you is sympathy. See, Yahushua can have empathy for you because they say he was tempted in all points like we are, yet without sin. That means every situation and circumstance that you could even fathom of a human experiencing, he experienced it. So he can have empathy on you. That's how he can be a comfort, a aid, a help, and a relief to you. Somebody who, this is showing you the love and power of your God. That's how real your God is. I'm willing to go through everything you go through to give you the strength when you get weary, because I was weary through it too. I felt that pain too. I felt that sadness too. I felt that desire too. I stayed steadfast and constant to our God in the midst of that temptation, so I can give you the strength to do so too. You understand? That's how serious it is. Let Yahuwah be esteemed. See, niggas don't be really wanting to hear that. Because see, once you hear that, then that shows you the love of your God, and then there's a level of accountability that's going to come along with that. Because again, he's not removing the space for you for being human. Because remember, he said he know your frame, but you were but dust. But he pitieth you as a father pitieth his own son. You understand? That's what reading John 16 and 28,
man. Came forth from the Abba, and I'm coming to the world. Again, I leave the world and go to the Abba. His disciples said unto him, Lo, now speak you plainly and speak no proverb. Now are we sure that you know all things, and need not that any man should ask you. By this we believe that you came forth from Alahym. Yahushua answered, Do you now believe? Behold, the hour come, yea, is now come, that you shall be scattered. Every man to his own shall leave me alone, and yet I am not alone.
I'm not alone.
Because I was with you. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have shalom.
But
In the world you shall have tribulation.
But be of
good cheer,
because
I have overcome the world.
Like who would be esteemed. Say people get upset with you when you tell them about my children, me and my siblings growing up hungry. The fact that nigga mad that you grew up hungry is crazy. That's crazy. Nigga, what you mad at me for? You know what I'm saying? That's wild. What you want me to do, nigga? I was 7. What you want me to steal, nigga? Rob? But what we my dog were talking about, man, you know what I'm saying, is like you niggas, like it's people going through real things out here, man. Because in the midst of that conversation, that's when my dog called me. He called me about some business opportunity. You know what I'm saying? He's seen at a job that we might could seize on. You know what I'm talking about? And that's when he told me what he was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga dealing with real stuff out here, man. I don't want to hear your doctrinal background. And I told him the same thing when Lil Trav called me about this years ago, man. When he seen the little dude seen IUIC walking through the street and he was enamored with him. And the brothers he was fellowshipping with at the time couldn't understand why the young boy wanted to go roll with IUIC. He like they doctrine Trav. But like I ain't never seen that many black men walking in unison discipline like that before. And niggas couldn't click that in their brain. And I'm like, blood, it's because niggas don't know how to be a real person. And they won't get outside of this social media bubble or going back and forth with the word that they couldn't even understand. That Jit don't know nothing about no doctrine, don't care nothing about no doctrine. He just seen 100 black men do something he ain't never seen before in his life. You know what I'm talking about? That don't even click in nobody's brain. This young man seen 100 black men walking in unison, step for step, in military formation, if you would. Never seen nothing like that before. He looking at this here, man, I ain't never seen 100 men look like me, move like this. I'm intrigued. He ain't thinking about, I wonder what they doctrinal breakdown of Isaiah 8 is. He don't care nothing about that. And we don't think nothing about that because we've grown accustomed to be on the internet and you arguing and you going back and forth with people about doctrine and you forgot that you was a real person from a real place dealing with real things before you found out we supposed to be Israelites. You see, that's why people were hooked on the Nation of Islam? Absolutely. Because you're seeing men who look like you, who come from where you come from, disciplined, suited, clean, respectful, honorable. And they're going to look out for you, whether you a Muslim or not. They're not seeing that. You have to understand, son, the reality of the situation is this. A lot of brothers didn't grow up seeing strong masculine figures of any type. You know what I'm saying? When I say see it, I mean seeing it consistently that somebody who they knew. So when they see stuff like that, a lot of young men are yearning for the father figure that they didn't have. That's why they be wanting to be a part of stuff like this, and dudes don't know that. And it boils down to the situation that niggas ain't really got no love in their heart. Like when I told them some of the stuff, man, my mama and my daddy was on, man, as forth as me looking at other black people, man's like, was y'all FBA? Hell no. Pan-African? Hell no. My mama and daddy was just like, nigga, you don't never look at somebody who look like you and have hatred for them. And you should never be in a situation where you feel uncomfortable around your own people. That don't mean that I'm not going to be aware if there's a bunch of killers around. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same token, I shouldn't go nowhere and be like, man, I don't want to be around here. Too many niggas around here. I got to reassess how I'm looking at my life, nigga, because if I say that, that's how I feel about myself. We weren't raised like that, man. We weren't raised to want to hurt black people, get over on black people. That's just not what we were taught. You say that's what you were talking to your uncle about today? Hell yeah. We weren't raised like that, man. We were raised to love your peoples, man. Like me, even with me reintroducing the word blood back into my vocabulary. I used to say a lot when I was younger. It really came from calling King that. You know why? Because King Young is for young blood. Because we from the South. You know what I'm saying? But my people from the West Coast. And then, of course, we from down here. When people say blood, nigga really talking about kinfolk. Now, if a nigga hear that, nigga say, oh, what you gang banging? Nah, nigga, you just a goofy because you think that's what that pertains to. Man, nigga, we ain't no bloods in Jacksonville, Florida like that, nigga. But you can't even click it in your brain to understand, nigga, we is blood, nigga. Matter of fact, read me Acts 17. That's what you do. Because I'm good with John 16. Read me Acts 17, man. Pick me up about verse 23. I think that's about what Paul gonna say. What I'm thinking about. Come on with it.
Say, for as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription: to the
Facts,
unknown
Joseph.
Alahym, whom therefore you ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. Alahym that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of Shamayim and Arabs, dwell not in temples made with hands.
Don't do it. He don't.
Neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything.
What else?
He give to all life and breath and all things.
Mm-hmm.
And have made of one blood.
Made of one what?
Made of one blood.
Made of one what?
One blood.
What else?
All nations of men.
My God,
all the face of the rest.
He made of how many bloods?
One blood.
That's why he said he gave you one heart and one way, one Alahym through all and then you all. You say you changed jobs because they talked about black people so much. I got fed up and was like, I'll go get a job working with my people so they can have somebody to train them up. See, I'd have been to cut them people out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be like this here. I don't know what you thought this was, that you were finna sit around here and talk about mine and you thought I was going to go. With that boy saying Psalm 50, altogether you thought I was one of them. But now I shall rebuke you to your face, nigga. What the hell you thought this was, man? Like I told you, man, that's what my daddy was on, man. My daddy, before my daddy died, man, real talk, that man said, man, don't you put no American flag on my casket. You know what I'm saying? Gave us explicit instruction. You put that red, black, and green flag on my casket. Say less. You know what I'm saying? Rico already knew what to do. That's a wrap. That's what it is. He done gave the instruction. We holding fast to that. See, my auntie didn't like that. You feel me? She was like, he's born in America. And then we got this video package of this man in his police blues holding his flag. And we're like, nigga, how you don't know this and this your brother? How you don't know this? Like, what the hell, man? What's wrong with you? Because he didn't represent that. He represented those who look like him. That's the only reason he became a police officer. Because there wasn't no black folks on the force, so he wanted to be able to set a pathway. If this is what people wanted to do for a living, they could do it. Because the reality is, living in this God-forsaken place, a lot of young black men don't see black men doing a lot of things, so they don't believe they can do a lot of things because their eyes don't lay hold on it. You know what I'm saying? See, it's a lot of churches out here, but a lot of brothers ain't seen no godly man, so they don't believe that's something that they can lay hold to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers don't believe that you can be a godly man and you can work a high-level job, or you can run a business and you can do all this here and maintain godliness and the standard and holiness and never compromise it. Man, nigga don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I say this here because it's good to mention the other things that we may be able to accomplish, but we have to that's submitted because we fear God, nigga. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. It's submitted because we got a standard, cuz. This is the foundation, the root of everything we got going on. Nigga, bump that money, my nigga. That junk fiat currency, boy. Them people can change that junk tomorrow. They can change it tomorrow, come up with a whole new currency, nigga. All that money you got means nothing. But the foundation of the standard and principles that you have as a man, well, they can't take that from you, my nigga. You got to give that away. And we ain't getting that away. That's what you got to remember, man. Look at, man, them people can take houses, they can take cars, they can take money, they can take stocks. They can't take your manhood, though, my nigga. You got to give that away. And your godliness is your manhood, and we not giving that away. Because if Yahushua ain't give his manhood away, what you giving yours away for? That's insane. That don't even make sense. You feel what I'm saying? We not on that. So when this man come here talking about, hey man, I'm changing the times and laws and appointed seasons because I caught a deadly wound during unleavened bread and I was healed. See, I'm the anointed one. We ain't falling for that. How you think he gonna be able to make intelligence with those who forsake the covenant when he take that deadly wound and get healed? You gonna think he the Messiah. You say, for all the intents, the banker is the high priest of this society. For all intents and purposes, I would have to say so. Be careful, boy. You had enough? Take that back over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to look at it that way, man. That's not to take away anything that any young man or man, period, is able to accomplish. But you have to remember those are material items. You dig? What I got to know?
Acts 17.
You read it already. Read me Luke 12 and 10. Come here, son. That's what I thought.
Saying, whosoever shall speak a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him.
Mm-hmm.
But unto him that blasphemes against the Ruach
I'm sorry, I'm deviating from the main point we got, but y'all will get back around that.
It shall not be forgiven. And when they bring you unto the synagogues and unto magistrates and powers, take you no thought how or what thing you shall answer or what you shall say. For the Ruach HaKodesh shall teach you in the same hour what you ought to say. And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother that he divide the inheritance.
That he divide the inheritance with me.
And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you?
Who made me? Listen what he said, man. That ain't what I'm here for.
And he said unto them, Take heed, beware of covetousness.
Because a man's life
consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses.
A man's life
consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses.
So listen, man. We read that for was to reiterate what I just said, man. They can take houses from you. They can take cars from you. They can take currency from you. They can take financial instruments, stocks, and whatever the case from you. But they can't take your godliness from you, man. They can't take that from you. You got to give that away. Understand that. Can't nobody take your manhood from you, man. You got to give that away. And we're not giving that away. That's what we were talking about Wednesday, man. That's why I tell you, man, the devil is a buster. Ain't nobody can take your manhood / godliness from you, my G. You got to give that away. He said the man can't rob the strong man's house unless he bind him. So the only way he could take that from you is he'd have to lock you up. But that's just material goods to spoil your house. Man, you got to give that away, man. And you got to ask yourself, man, how valuable is godliness to you? Because it should be priceless. It should be so valuable, like he said in Matthew, man, the kingdom of heaven, like somebody who see it as a precious jewel and sold everything that he had and buried it, man. That's how valuable it was to him. Man, ain't no let nobody gonna take this from me. See, when we get to 1 Kings 13, you're gonna see that man, he let that person take that from him. Now come back to Daniel 11:31. Let me read that, we get back on task. Well, we ain't never leave the task, but I'm just going in the... I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't had no defined right of what we were going here when I sat down in the first place, other than we were going to read Deuteronomy 8 and let the Lord do what he do.
It's saying, arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength. They shall take away the daily sacrifice. They shall place the abomination that make desolate. And such as do wickedly against the covenant.
Such as do what?
Wickedness against the covenant shall be corrupt by flatteries.
Corrupt by who?
By flatteries.
Tell them what flatteries is, man, just in case they forgot.
That's Kalaka, flattery, smoothness, fine promises.
Fine lies. Let me tell you something, as a man, you should never do. You should never make promises to nobody about nothing. You know what I'm saying? The same reason why that man say, let your yea be yea, your nay be nay, because that's what a vow is. That's a votive promise. Don't make no promises to nobody. Because if you don't fulfill that promise, then, hey, boy, you owe, boy. And the Lord gonna have to take that promise out your black behind. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all before, man, I remember when I first got on Clubhouse, nigga was talking about getting married, and I told some of them women, oh, me and my wife ain't make no vows. You ain't make no vows, then the marriage ain't real. Make a vow for what? I don't need to promise nobody nothing. You already know what we came here to do. What I got a vow it for? So the promise make it realer. You know how many people going to hell, man, for that? I ain't even being funny, man. It don't matter if you knew or not. Well, if you made vows, man, and you went and broke them vows, boy, well, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. And these people have you ritualistically go in here and get married and do this, and you don't realize you making promises before God. It don't matter if you was consciously aware that was you was doing. It don't matter if you own, sir. That's what you just did, blood. When you said for better or worse, you made that vow. When you say till death do us part, nigga, you promise I won't leave this person till they die. And boy, you left before they died, boy. You made that promise for God, boy. You vowed that. That's what vow means. It's a votive offering. Y'all remember that word? That's a promise, my nigga. That means this is a votive offering, means you voluntarily offered this. That's why he said, don't make no vows, man. Let your yea be yea, your nay be nay, man. You gotta do all that. Because, boy, if you make a promise before heaven, boy, you got to maintain that. You got to maintain that. You have to fulfill what you say, which is why them niggas up north, what they like to say, Civic, word is bond. Your word is your bond. You break it, man. What did Scarface tell you? I only got two things in this world. What them things is, Civic? My word and my balls. And I don't break them for nobody. He said he knew that one.
Yeah.
My God, today.
That could be everywhere.
But listen, though, people don't sit back and look at that. Why? Because Alahym was not a man that he should lie, nor the son of a man if he repent. If he said it, shall he not do it? That means when he give his promise, he fulfill it. So guess what that means? He holding you to the same standard. So it will be better for you that if you know you can't fulfill it, to not promise that. See, this ain't no promise. I'm going to take the trash out today. You didn't make a vow and say, as Yahuwah liveth, or I vow to you this day. It's not what you did. You said you was going to do something, you didn't do it. But you didn't make a promise that you were going to do that. There's a difference, man. A promise, that's signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm supposed to consider that done. That's why he told you not to do it. You know what people like to run to? But Moses told you to vow to God. Man, look here, man. And he also told you in Isaiah 48 that these people swear by Yahuwah, but not in righteousness and not in truth. It's better for you to not swear and do than to swear and not do. And niggas don't have no concept of that. Because niggas be lying all the time. All the time. Not a little bit at a time, Civic. All the time. Go ahead, man.
He's saying, such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries, but the people that do know their Alahym shall be strong and do. And they that understand among the people shall instruct men, yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity and by spoil many days. Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries.
With flatteries.
And some of them of understanding shall fall to try them.
To do what to them?
To try them.
Tell them what try mean now, man.
That is saraf, to smelt.
Same word again.
And to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will.
That's good, man. Everything for that testing, man. See what's in your heart, though, right? 1 Kings 13:1 again.
Saying, behold, there came a man of Alahym out of Yehuda by the word of Yahuwah unto Bethel, and Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar in the word of Yahuwah and said, O altar, altar, thus saith Yahuwah, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name, and upon you shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon you, and men's bones shall be burnt upon you. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, this is the sign which Yahuwah hath spoken. Behold, the altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out.
Poured out.
And it came to pass when King Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of Alahym, which had cried against the altar in Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar, saying, lay hold on him, and his hand, which he put forth against him, dried up, so that he could not pull it in again to him. The altar also was rent, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of Alahym had given by the word of Yahuwah.
And the king answered and said
unto the man of Alahym, entreat now the face of Yahuwah your Alahym, and pray for me, that my hand may be restored me again. And the man of Alahym besought Yahuwah. And the king's hand was restored him again, and became as it was before.
Pause. Can anybody tell me what it's at in the Gospels? What you heard in verse 6, 5, and 4, 4, 5, and 6? We ain't talked about this in a long time because we ain't read this story in a long time. Where you read this at in the Gospels or something like this happening? Anybody? No, you got an idea, Sid? Four, 5, and 6. Going once, you got an idea, Civic don't know.
I don't know the book. Is that the man that had the withered hand?
I don't know. What you talking about? Don't tell me nothing. That man right here got a withered hand. You got to put a little bit more detail on that than that.
That's when they grabbed his garment and ripped.
You said the lepers? No, man. Come on, man. For time's sake, Mark 3:1.
It said he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand, and they watched him, whether he would heal him on the Shabbat day.
Whether he would heal him on the Shabbat.
That they might accuse him.
Oh,
and he said unto them,
you know how wicked you got to be, man? Do you know how wicked you got to be, man? Read Luke 5:17-26 before you finish this here. What? Because I can't recall off the top of my head what's that. But you know how wicked you got to be to say, let me see if he gonna heal him, so we can accuse him. You wicked as hell. Luke 5:17.
Saying it came to pass on a certain day, and as he was teaching, that there were Pharisees and doctors of the law sitting by, which were come out of every town of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem, and the power of the Lord was present to heal them. And behold, men brought in the bed a man which was taken with a palsy, and they sought means to bring him.
No, this ain't the same one. This man here, Mark 3:1, this man literally is the one that's got a withered hand. Come on with it. Back to Mark 3:1. That's the dude in his bed. They did the same thing there. You got to be a real wicked bastard. Let me see if he gonna relieve this man from frailties and weaknesses and infirmities, so I can say, see, he a sinner. And you got people who see that's literally the spirit of the devil. That's something a devil would do. Nobody of God is sitting back looking to see if they can find sin on somebody. Once you find yourself going on an investigative report looking for sin on another person, just know that of a surety, the devil is in you. Straight up and down. And I say that unequivocally, unapologetically, and directly and firmly. The Spirit of God could not be anywhere near you, dwelling in you, round the corner from you, or anything of the sort. It's not even possible. Indeed, similar to Job, friends, it's not even possible. No godly person looks for sin on another person. No godly person looks for the fall of another person who's moving towards seeking God's face, even if you don't like them. Boy, that's a deficiency in your character. That is a mark and a blemish on you, boy. You's a stain. And ain't no other way to cut that, spin that, communicate that, relate that. You wicked as hell. Go ahead, man.
And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Shabbat, that they might accuse him.
It's Mark 3:1, man.
He said unto the man which had the withered hand, stand forth. And he said unto them, is it lawful to do good on the Shabbat day, or to do evil, to save life or to kill?
To do what to life?
To save life or to kill.
Whatever.
But they held their shalom.
They held their peace.
And when he had looked around about on them with anger.
With what?
With anger.
Why?
Being grieved for the hardness of their heart.
That man said these people have pissed this man off because of the hardness of their heart. Tell them what hardness means now, man.
That is porosis, the covering with the callous obtrusiveness of mental discernment, dull perception. The mind of one has been blunted, of stubbornness, of obduracy, or stupidity.
Stupid nigga. That man say you hard or hard, boy, you stupid. You's a dummy. You know how many people used to get offended when we be like, boy, you stupid, boy. You supposed to be in the word. You ain't supposed to say it like God said. In Jeremiah 4, he said, these are Sodom's children. That means you stupid. Listen, man, to be stupid is intentional. I just want you to know that. Being ignorant is different. You don't know. Now, you can go out of your way to try to be willfully ignorant to justify culpable deniability that you didn't know something, but you really knew. But you know what I'm saying? But to be stupid, you had to put in work to be stupid. You know what I'm saying? See, to be dumb in proper context of the word means you can't talk. You know what I'm saying? You're devoid of intelligence. Stupid is not being devoid of intelligence. You know what's going on. You just willfully and wantonly go in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? You stupid to be stupid, you have to, that's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, when we look at stupid in the context of this nigga can't learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga stupid. He don't know. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, the slang is, you know, you're funny, you're weird. You know, you're not weird, but you're goofy, this, that, and the third. But, you know, the etymology or contextually, the word stupid meant, man, you was intentionally and willfully doing things to be contrary. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the English definition of stupid. Maybe we need to pull out the etymology of stupid just for the hell of it. You know, just for the taste of it. Diet Coke, you remember that? No, that's for your time, man. They restocking them Gamma Blues for you, boy. I got just doing the lambs on even wear them hope. I will be hurting my feet. Stupid means lack of intelligence, common sense, or perception, often leading to poor decisions or slow learning. Now, that's one of the things it said is lacking perception. So what is lacking perception from our paradigm? That's having no understanding. That's why if you lack understanding, you're worthy of death. And so because you have no understanding, you're going to make poor decisions, which is why he say, you know, get wisdom, but in all you're getting, get some understanding. That means you slow to comprehend or learn to understand things and making unintelligent choices. Dull or senseless, you're heavy, you're sluggish, you lack sensation, like being stupid from a lack of sleep, usually informally for something annoying. We don't want the irritating. Then, of course, you're acting in an unreasoned or careless manner. So when you're stupid, you're reckless. Don't be reckless. Also, it means, you know, it comes from the Latin word stupidia or stupidius or stupidium. And the Romans used it to describe people who were apathetic, incapable of acting, stagnated, refusing to move. Now, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the word apathetic, but it's basically people who don't care about nothing. I want to see if I can find what the etymology is. If I can't, there it is. It is an Anglo-Norman Middle French word, stupidi, from the 14th century. Stupefied, dazed, foolish, unintelligent. This one ain't as good as the other one with etymology. I don't want to waste time with that. But I want to tell you what apathetic is, because a lot of people are apathetic. And to be apathetic is a dangerous place to be for any man. When you look at apathy, that is a lack of interest, emotion, enthusiasm, or concern. It is not feeling joy, sadness, excitement, or passion, absence of feeling, indifference, a general lack of concern for people, events, or surroundings, or a lack of motivation. And to be bereft of motivation is, again, that's a willful choice. When you take the totality of all these things and you put it together, being stupid is a conscious decision. Now, some people are stupid because they lack it. Some people don't have intelligence. It is what it is. Maybe they weren't born with it. Maybe it wasn't fostered. You know, we were talking about certain things like that today. Like, my dog felt like some things should be innate. But I'm like, and he's learned that, you know, it's not. Because, you know, with men, a lot of people think that men should just know certain things just because they're a man. I don't know why people think that. I don't even know where the hell they get that from. Because in life, everything is learned behavior. Do you have instincts to do certain things? Sure you do. Because this conversation always comes up when people say, oh, so you need a book to give you your morals or to give you your standards, you know what I'm saying, things of this nature. But then you look at it this here, right? If you come up in an environment where it's kill or be killed, your instincts say that this is what you should do. And so the thought process of killing is wrong may not ever come to your mind because that's not what you were taught. That's not what you observed. So your observable reality paints a different picture for you. And people don't like to take that into account. Everybody feel like every man's a leader. Every man should be this. Like I seen the lady say, as a man, why are you broke? Baby, every man doesn't have the high level skills, acumen, and intelligence to be a millionaire. And it's not necessarily because he's maybe stupid or this, that, there, and the third. He didn't come up in an environment where those high level skills were taught to him. So then you're expecting a man to navigate through life, to achieve and acquire mentality and skills that he ain't never seen or heard, don't even know they exist. But he's supposed to know it because he got testicles in the penis. Baby, you dumb as the day you was born. You know what I'm saying? That's the same token as any dude who feel like, oh, a woman should be feminine, this, that, and the third because she's a woman. She don't have, man, look at, man, if you've ever seen a child, little girls just aren't feminine per se. They may have some girly tendencies, but if her mama is a middle linebacker, aggressive, rude, and disrespectful, and she's around that on a day-to-day basis, she will begin to adopt those mannerisms because that's what she's exposed to. You know what I'm saying? That's genuinely what she's going to become. They might have tendencies of being girly, but if she don't see girliness on a regular basis, where's the foundation of that type of thought process going to come from? Listen, man, I know women in their family, all of them are rude, cantankerous, disciplinary problems. The only difference where to come with the younger women is to say, okay, I don't want to be like them. But she'll still find difficulty of being something different if there's no example of anyone teaching and showing her different. How is she supposed to know this? Nobody's going to have an example of godliness just instinctively without actually seeing it. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. Human beings learn things from instruction. And that's just the reality of life. You know what I'm saying? I feel no apathy, empathy, or sympathy to the situation that occurred in Minnesota. She made a stupid move willfully. You know, I haven't seen the details of any of that stuff that happened with that lady. I heard people saying that an ICE agent shot somebody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really looking into it because I ain't gonna lie. I really didn't care. Because for me, that seemed like white people problems. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's another shout out to my pops and my mama and my auntie. You know what I'm saying? They definitely communicated to us that you don't have to put on your cape and feel like you got to save the whole world. If them white people problem, them white people problem. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with you. It's unfortunate that lady died. It's also unfortunate that this man shot her because I also know the flip side of things. You may dislike the police or whatever the case may be, and that's fine. But that's still another human being doing a job, and now he has to live the rest of his life knowing he took somebody's life. And some people, that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? Say, yeah, her woman sent her out there to make chaos, and she admitted it. I might look into that later. I ain't looked into none of that. That's all I can say. It's unfortunate. But also, as Omar said, if she put herself in that situation, then baby, that's what you earned. And sometimes black folks don't want to look at that because every person who the police killed ain't put themselves in a situation to be killed. You know what I'm saying? But some people who the police killed, because you put yourself in that situation to get done like that. And as a man, you have to move with a little bit more skill and tact. You know what I'm saying? You have to. And that ain't even on you being scared of the police type of time. Like, man, you don't put yourself in a certain situation because you're getting emotional. Because a lot of dudes who end up getting shot like that by the police is because you let your emotions overpower your reasoning. And that's it. I ain't did nothing. I ain't going through all that with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, you have to walk circumspectly. This ain't nothing to be like, okay, he wrong, whatever the case may be. But what is getting emotional going to do for you? What is that gonna do for you? That's how you have to look at every situation. What is responding emotionally going to do for you? What is the outcome that you're going to get from responding this way? You said a modern day stormtroopers. That's what people are comparing them to. Say, dude was drugged last year by illegal immigrants, and they just prosecuted last month. But see, then he was scared. You know what I'm saying? He probably was scared. You know what I'm saying? I told you that Wednesday, man. You know, my daddy told me that. Hey, man, them people be just as scared as you are them. But again, that's because when you look at police officers and soldiers, you divorce humanity from them. You know what I'm saying? You feel like as a soldier, a police officer, he don't have no humanity, so he couldn't be scared because he the police. You know what I'm saying? What he scared for? What you mean what he's scared for? Same reason what you scared for. I don't know what you finna do to me. I got a wife, I got a mistress, I got a mortgage. I want to go home. It is what it is, man. Come on, son.
So when he had looked round about on them with anger, being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he said unto the man, stretch forth your hand, and he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other.
Come here, Joanne.
Because somebody actually been here. He was going over there. He's coming on to that.
Go ahead. Said high blood pressure. That's why.
Saying the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against him, how they might destroy him.
They wanted to kill him because of this. Ain't that crazy? Back to 1 Kings 13, verse 7.
It said, the king said unto the man of Alahym, come home with me and refresh yourself, and I will give you a reward. The man of Alahym said unto the king, if you will give me half your house, I will not go with you. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place.
For it was charged me
by the word of Yahuwah,
saying what?
Eat no bread nor drink water,
nor turn again
by the same way that you came.
So he went
another way and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel.
Now there dwelt an old prophet
in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the words that the man of Alahym had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken unto the king. Then they told also to their father, and their father said unto them, what way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of Alahym went, which came from Yehudah. And he said unto his sons, saddle me the ass. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon.
And he went
after the man of Alahym,
found him sitting
under an oak,
and said unto him,
are you the man of Alahym that came from Yehudah?
He said, I am.
Then said he unto him, come home with me and eat bread.
And he said, I may not return with you,
nor go in with you. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water with you in this place.
For it was said to me by the word of Yahuwah. This is the second time he done said this now.
You shall eat no bread nor drink water there, nor turn again to go your way that you came. He said unto him, I am a prophet also as you are.
And
Alahym spake unto me by the word of Yahuwah,
saying,
bring him back with you into your house, that he may eat bread and drink water.
But he lied unto him. Now, this is the key component of what's going on. And Paul lets you know this, right? Shalom, Sister Kelly. Go to Galatians 1, because I'm going to say it wrong, man. About 1 and 5. My mind went blank.
To whom the esteem forever and ever, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of a Mashiach unto another gospel.
Unto another what?
Unto another gospel.
This is what this other prophet doing. So what he say?
He said, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of a Mashiach.
What else?
But though we, or Malachim,
or another what?
Or Malachim from Shamaim preach any other gospel unto you,
let him be what?
Than that which we have preached unto you.
Let him be what?
Accursed.
Listen.
As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed.
Did not this prophet preach another gospel unto him that he received? Listen, man, it don't matter what this nigga done said to you. Well, what did God say for you to do? Now, he just told this man, boy, Yahuwah told me by the word of Yahuwah, don't eat no bread, don't drink no water, don't do this here. Man, I don't care nothing about you saying you know prophet, man, and he told you this here. See, he tried him, see what was in his heart or not. Read that again, verse 18.
He said unto him, I am a prophet also as you are. And the Malachim spake unto me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, bring him back with you into your house, that he may eat bread and drink water.
But he lied
unto him.
So he went back with it.
Did eat bread in his house and drank water.
And it came to pass,
as they sat at the table, that the word of Yahuwah came unto the prophet that brought him back.
He cried unto the man,
of Alahym that came from you, saying,
thus saith Yahuwah,
for as much as you had disobeyed the mouth of Yahuwah,
and kept not
the commandment.
Now that's what we came here for. He kept not
the commandment.
See, the commandment of Yahuwah is not just tied to the Torah. It's when he gives you a direct instruction to do something. So when he said, I humbled you to see if you keep my commandments or no, all the temptations and the sufferings and the things that Mashiach went through was to see if you lay your life down like I commanded you to. Let me see what's in your heart. You asked for that cup to pass, but you said, not my will be done, but your will be done. When Peter upped that fire, he said, whoa, how else would the scripture be fulfilled? So I say, if my kingdom was of this world, my servants would fight. All these things, these temptations that happened to him was to see if he was going to keep the instruction, which was to lay your life down freely. Continue. Verse 21. 1 Kings 13.
And he cried unto the man of Alahym that came from you, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, for as much as you have disobeyed the mouth of Yahuwah, you have not kept the commandment which Yahuwah your Alahym commanded you,
but came back
and have eaten bread and drunk water in the place of which Yahuwah did say to you, Eat no bread and drink no water, your carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre.
And it came to pass,
after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk,
he saddled him for the ass.
So wait for the prophet whom he had
and when he
back,
was gone,
a lion met him by the way
and slew him.
And his carcass was cast in the way.
And the ass stood by it.
The lion also stood by the carcass.
And behold, men passed by.
Saw the carcass cast in the way.
And the lion standing by the carcass.
And they came and told it in the city where the old prophet.
And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard,
he said, It is the man of Alahym
who was disobedient
unto the word of Yahuwah.
Therefore Yahuwah delivered him unto the lion,
which had torn him and slain him,
according to the word of Yahuwah which he spake unto him.
And he spake to his son, saying, Saddle me the ass, and they saddled him. And he went and found his carcass cast in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass.
And the prophet took up the carcass of the man Alahym,
and laid it upon the ass,
and brought it back.
The old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him.
And he laid his carcass in his own grave.
And they mourned over him, saying, Alas, my brother.
And it came to pass after he buried him.
And he spake to his son, saying, When I am dead, then bury me in the sepulchre wherein the man of Alahym is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones.
Lay my bones beside what?
His bones.
Sound like a little baptism right there, man. But listen. Say sold him out on top of lying to.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is the man who disobeyed Yahuwah.
Well, I mean, you have to remember the reason why he said that is because Yahuwah put the spirit on him to testify against the prophet for not doing it, because that man didn't know that. Do you know what I'm saying? But he was wrong for even telling, man, I'm a prophet too. But that goes to show to this main key point, even when we read in Revelation 13, where he have power to make fire come down from heaven and men will be deceived by it, because what it tell you in Deuteronomy 13. Man, you got to do what God told you to do. Bump what they talking about. Because I'm going to tell you something real, man. But the Lord ain't never going to send you no word that's going to be contrary to the word that he gave you to do. Because if he wanted you to do something different, you know what he would do? He would communicate that to you. But you knew what you were supposed to do. That man don't operate. I know I said don't eat nothing and drink that, but you know what I'm going to say? Nah, cuz that's what I told you to do. Now this man going to come up here to see if you're going to do what I told you to do. And you told him what you were supposed to do. But because he said he was a prophet, and he said by the word of Yahuwah, come to my house. Come on, man. That man lied. That man wasn't even no doggone prophet, man. Because you're supposed to know as a prophet, why would another prophet tell me to do different than what God told me to do? He didn't get caught slipping. He got caught being stupid. He got caught being stupid. This is a learning situation. It's not to rag on the prophet, because again, we're looking at being caught being stupid. When we looked at the definitions, he got caught not using proper perception. So because he didn't use proper perception, he didn't make an intelligent decision. And that decision cost him his life. You know what I mean? Like, you have to look at stuff like that, man. You have to weigh that stuff all the way out on every cut and corner and everything you choose to do. Like, we were talking about this yesterday, because dudes were talking about, Trump being a pedophile because he in the Epstein files and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, and he went to rationale, like, ain't no pedophile going to heaven. I'm like, so let's pause for a moment. And this is not to justify pedophilia, but you think pedophilia worse than murder? Dude's like, oh, it's levels of sin. Is it? Because when he said, I'm going to root all sinners out, I said like this here, man, I'm like, man, because people like that, he wanted to quote Revelation. Ain't no liars going to dwell in his spot, right? You know what I mean? And dude, like, it's only lying that's fault with it, but I want y'all to hear something, right? Just in case you don't know that's what's in. You feel me? I want you to go to Psalms 101, you dig? I want you to just pick it up at verse 1 on general principle. You know what I'm saying? People get upset when people say Jesus was a prophet, like it's not the most important position he had. Yeah, I mean, he was a prophet. You know what I'm saying? And he was an apostle. And he was a high priest. And he was a pastor. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, that's just people who unlearn, so they just be really in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, test the spirit by the spirit. I believe it also magnified the prophecy because they made the burial to commemorate the event. It did. And of course, the purposes of the ashes being offered on the altar is them offering to them golden calves. You know what I'm saying? and with they fake tabernacles. But come on with it. What I asked you to read?
Psalm 101.
Psalms 101 and 1. Now listen to it.
I will sing of mercy and judgment unto you, O Yahuwah will I sing.
That's right.
I'll behave myself wisely.
I'll do what?
Behave myself wisely in a perfect way.
In a what way?
In a perfect way.
In what way?
In a perfect way.
What perfect is that, man?
That is Tamim.
That's in an innocent way, and having integrity. Come on.
Oh, when will you come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart.
Perfect heart.
I will set no wicked thing before my eyes.
No wicked thing before my eyes.
I hate the work of them that turn aside. They shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person.
No, here is yada. So I will have no experiences with wicked people. Remember what it said in Romans. Not only do you know those who do those things, but you take pleasure in them that do it. You know them. If you take pleasure in them, go ahead, because you having that experience with them.
So whoso privily slander his neighbor, him will I cut off.
Cut off.
Him that have a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer.
I ain't fooling with him.
My eyes shall be upon the faithful of the
land.
They may dwell with me.
That's right.
He that walk in a perfect way, he shall serve me.
Listen.
He that work deceit shall not dwell within my house.
Pause. He that work what?
Deceit shall not dwell within my house.
What deceit is in Hebrew, man?
That is remiyah, laxness, slackness, slackening, deceit, treachery.
Go ahead.
He that tell lies shall not tarry in my sight.
What lies? And I told him, because they was like, it's only if you bear false witness. I say, well, what about Psalm 101, man? He say he that tell lies won't tarry in his sight, nigga.
That is shakir. That is lie, deception, disappointment, falsehood.
So if you deal with any type of falsehood, tell any type of lies, man. Come tell this nigga like, boy, lies will get you cut off, boy. A pedophile gonna go to hell just like a murderer going to hell. They ain't going to a special part of it. We just say that as people. It's a special place in hell for you. No, it ain't no special place. It's all the same. It's fire and worms in there, man. Ain't no difference. It ain't gonna be no hotter over here. It ain't gonna be no cooler over there. I say, because that's a just weight. That's an unjust weight and balance. Because you want God to forgive you, but you don't believe that this man could turn from that. Cause I'm like, bro, so you just saying if a dude repent, and I'm like, niggas get it twisted, because repentance does not signify forgiveness. Repentance means turning from a behavior. That don't mean you forgiving, blood. It don't mean that. Because Ahab repented, he wasn't forgiven. You understand? So you have to look at that. And again, because we have to keep it. Remember, can't judge according to appearance, have to judge righteous judgment. We're not judging and making this assessment based off personal feelings about a pedophile. I don't fool with no pedophile. Nevertheless, an adulterer has an opportunity for mercy. A murderer has opportunity for mercy. And the reason why I say this, because a pedophile and a rapist are on the same level as a murderer according to your law. That's what your law say. This is as the same as if a man slew another man. So according to our law, if a man is a pedophile, because some people say, why doesn't the Bible speak on pedophilia? Mainly because that may have not been something that was going on that prevalent at that time. Now, of course, we can read in the text how Judah didn't let Tamar marry his son until he was of age. We know of being of age in the scripture obviously is 20 years old. So 19 and under, you're a child. That's how you know, us knowing the word. That's how you know, man, Mary wasn't no little girl when she got married to Joseph, man. Rebecca wasn't no little girl when she got married to Isaac, man. That's not how them people operated. Because they want to put that on Yahuwah, that these people were pedophiles, because pedophilia was rampant in Greco-Roman culture. They were on that type of time. And the so-called people who say they Jewish now, they on that type of time. But in the text, them people not on that type of time. You don't read nowhere in the text when it say when a young girl get her cycle, she could get married and you can have sex with her. That's what nasty niggas in the 21st century is on. Them people didn't move that way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this from the aspect of straight godliness, not the co-signing of the behavior. Because if a man commit pedophilia, he should be killed. If a man sexually assaults a woman, he should be killed. That's what the law say. That's murder, nigga. know what I'm saying? From this point forward, so you know this here, so you can understand that there, man. When we mention pedophilia, any type of sexual assault, nigga, that's murder, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, man, I'm talking about metaphorically and literally. It's murder because you have murdered every bit of innocency, cleanliness, security, and confidence in this person. You have murdered that. You know what I'm saying? You have essentially murdered a multitude of different things internally in this individual, though you did not take their life. This is why God said your life should be taken. Because that's what you equal to, nigga. You equal to a murderer. You should die. So if we can turn around and say a murderer could have repentance and be restored, I can't say scripturally this person can't because I find his behavior reprehensible and deplorable. Because it's got to be an equal weighted measure. It's got to be a just weight and a just balance. You can't judge that way. You know what I'm saying? And people judge that way. Because I'm like, nigga, don't you know? Well, if you don't lie, ain't you excluded? Huh? Yeah, he say the church say the age of accountability is 12 and 13. Can you explain that verse? Is 19. Oh, that's because people make that up. But it's not accountability per se. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no such thing as age of accountability. They made that up. What you have is he said that everybody 20 and up would not enter into the land. You know what I'm saying? So anybody under 20, when you look in the law, it refers to them as a little one or a child. So everybody 20 and under is who got in the land with Joshua in Joshua chapter 5. Everybody 20 and up died in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit back and look at that, 20 and under, 19 and under, you're considered a child. So when it comes down to marriage, they weren't marrying a 16-year-old. They weren't marrying a 17-year-old. Were they betrothing 16-year-olds? Yes. Were they betrothing 14 and 15-year-olds? Yes. This is part of the reason why Paul say, if you don't lay with your virgin, because this person has been promised to you, but you can't have them till they're of age. How do we know this? Because when we read Genesis 38, Judah's son was promised to Tamar, but she couldn't be with him till he was of age, because he would have to bring her to him. This is why she dressed up like the harlot, because he never brought him. You know what I'm saying? Once he hit 20, okay, now you can be married. But until that time, oh, no, we're not doing that. Yes, he said, does the age have anything to do with the children of Israel? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's not age of accountability. That's made up. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at accountability, the word don't really talk about that, because it say that was children or young men who mocked Elisha. And they could have been teens. They could have been over 20. They all died. You know what I'm saying? Because they was out of pocket. Also, children can be killed, obviously, because we've seen that with Achan, based on what the father of the house got going on. Because he got his children killed. Just like Korah got there, and all the men with them got their children killed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like the age of accountability, you're not like accountable to your sins. Yeah, that they made all that up because they didn't have an explanation for it. And instead of saying the book don't speak on that. I don't know why it's difficult for some people to say the text doesn't explicitly speak on this. So they just make stuff up. You know what I'm saying? But when we were in the confines of like intercourse and being married, nah, man, they weren't marrying little girls, because that's an Islamic practice of grown men marrying little girls. That is not a quote unquote, I mean, even I say Hebrew practice. That's not a Yahuwah given mandate. Yahuwah did not ordain, appoint, instruct, or teach, or tell anyone to do anything of the sort. You know what I'm saying? Anything of the sort. And a nigga got to be a special type of stupid if you think he would send Isaac to go marry a 13, 14-year-old girl. But most of these niggas are perverts and straight up and down degenerates. You know what I'm saying? They would think the God of heaven and earth, who stand for all manner of godliness and righteousness, would be cool with a nigga marrying a child. Yeah, I'm going to stamp that. Go marry a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here. Because that's when people be screaming, oh, Mary was 13. Nowhere in the word does it say how old this woman was. Nowhere. Niggas talking about she 14 and Joseph was 90. Come on, blood. People say this because all this stuff is they pulling from quote unquote scholars saying stuff. There's no definitive information that tell you how old Rebecca was or tell you how, look at man, this is how serious it was, man. You can read it in the text, man. They asked Rebecca, do you want to go with him?
That's how you know they made no vows.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
she could have said, no, I don't want to go. And it wouldn't have been no harm, no foul. But people like to make stuff up because they really be mad about stuff. You feel me? Say, I think I remember hearing the age of accountability. Yeah, there is no age of accountability. It doesn't exist. The book don't say nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Let me tell you something, right? If your child will read Deuteronomy 13. But yeah, man, that book don't stand no pedophilia, man. You know what I mean? Man, not on that. Matter of fact, let me read that Genesis 38 so people can hear that right off the paper before you read what you finna read, right? You did. So, right. This is Genesis chapter 38, right? Let me go ahead and have this here, man. Verse 11. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at your father's house until Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also as his brethren. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. He said, a lot of people just make stuff up because they do, though. A lot of people do make stuff. Now, I'm going to give you the definition of grown here. What it is when the text don't speak on certain things, man, people just make stuff up. Unfortunately, they just make stuff up because they don't have no way to explain stuff. So they just feel like, I got to say something. So when you get to look at grown, it's Gadal, Gamal, Dalet, and Lamad, to grow up, to become great, to cause to grow, to be magnified, to grow, to become great, to important, praise, magnify, do great things. Of course, in this instance, it means to grow, as in body or mind, a state and honor. So it's when he becomes grown, when he becomes great or of age for all intents and purposes. Because if they didn't care how old he was like, oh, get him now. Get him now. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get him now. But again, I will tell you again, the betrothal phase, she may be betrothed, she may be promised to a man young, but he can't get her while she's young. You know what I'm saying? She got to become of age. Ain't nobody doing all that, man. That's what other people's customs. Now, in my estimation, that I speak this proper permission, aka my opinion, I don't think pedophilia is mentioned in the law because I haven't seen anywhere where the Canaanites participated in that type of behavior. When you look at a lot of the laws that's referenced, it's tell you that the Canaanites were participating in that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't seen historically at this point in my life where the Canaanites were participating in that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, and then this is not to be definitive. Let's just get it straight. The first culture I seen that participated in any type of pedophilia is the culture of people who came up with the word, and that was the Greeks. I don't read of any people from the Sumerian Valley, the Mesopotamian Valley, the quote unquote Middle East, Asia Minor, whatever you want to call it. I have not read in my close to 46 years of being alive of any of them participating in pedophilia. I have not seen it. Or pederasty. I have not seen it. The first people that I encountered in reading was about 1995 or 96. It was Greeks. That's the people man, boy, love. They came up with the word pedophilia. They came up with the word pederasty. Joseph say that's facts. I have not seen it. That's not to say that it's not there, but I have not seen anyone other than them participating in that degenerate conduct. Yeah, they were sacrificing children. I'm not going to take that. Them Canaanites were giving it up to Molech. Now, these people were sacrificing children, but I have not seen anything that stated that them Hamite people or any Shemitic people, or matter of fact, any people of Yafet outside of Jovan, outside of them Greeks, messing with little children. Yeah, and that's it. They have sex with their mama, their daddy, aunties, cousins, siblings. I ain't read nowhere where them people were touching no children. You know what I'm saying? You say suggestion of age is what? Ezekiel 16, verse 7 and 8. Read that real fast. We just went through that not long ago. Indeed, Rohan, the age of a female is never discussed. I think it wasn't discussed because I think these people knew their practices and standards. So I don't think it was nothing for them to discuss. And I think that's hard for people in our day and time to recognize that some things that didn't have to be said because we're not perverts. Go ahead.
To have caused you to multiply as the bud of the field, you have increased and waxing great, and you are come to excellent ornaments. Your breasts are fashioned, your hair is grown, where you was naked and bare. Now when I passed by you and looked upon you, behold, your time was a time of love.
You said you wanted to go to Greece. Well, you could still go. I mean, they ain't out there rubbing on little boy booties no more. At least not in the open.
Over you and covered your naked.
No, that's good. Now I want you to look at your breasts are fashioned. Because that's similar to what it says in Songs of Solomon. My little sister have no breasts. What shall we do in the day that she shall be spoken for? He just put that on there. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's no way in the world you finna be talking about, well, she having a cycle. That little girl ain't got no breasts, cuz. You like flat chest? You like little children, nigga. You nasty.
That is breast, bosom, the female breast.
Mm-hmm.
You got the breast of a woman, breast of an animal.
Yeah, I would include the Romans as well. But when I say Greeks, that's why I say Greco-Roman. It's both of them as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's both of them. Yeah, I mean, she has to come of age. She has to be a grown woman, man. And a grown woman, scripturally, is 20 years old. That's when she's a grown woman, at 20 years old. It don't matter if you don't like it, agree with it, or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Because we were talking about this yesterday also. If a woman wants to bear children, it is always more desirable for her to get married younger so she can get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? As it pertains to not wanting to participate in geriatric pregnancy. Now, that's not to say that you can't have children after 35. It's not to say that you can't have children at 40. It's just say that the risk of complications at birth is higher or during the pregnancy. That's it. That should be enough common sense. Nobody should be like, no, you can't have a baby at 36. Nigga, we know that. But if you actually love that woman, then you're going to think about that because this could be difficult for her. Is this something that I want to take her through? And this is something that as a woman, you have to weigh that out. Do I want to deal with that at this advanced age? That's it. You know what I'm talking about? As a man, most people recommend as a man, if possible, that you shouldn't get married till you're at least to your 30s. Because, unfortunately, in this society, a lot of women think at 21, this nigga should be rich. You supposed to be broke at 21. Nigga, you just graduated high school. You just wading through. But because the advent of social media, niggas capping, lying, and flogging, now people think you should have money early. I seen people keep making this post about this 17-year-old boy talking about his girlfriend, talking about he's supposed to be paying for her nails and paying for this. This nigga 17, baby. Where the hell he supposed to get some money for?
Yeah, it was the people in the comments talking about some, my boyfriend doing this, and people sound like he was messing with a grown man.
Yeah, a lot of them were messing with grown men.
You were talking about 16-year-olds.
Yeah, ain't no little boy who can do all that. But that's the part that them women in them comment, baby, you were dating a 25-year-old man.
But even still, if you volunteer to do that, volunteering, your daughter shouldn't be begging.
Yeah, you around here, man, look here, man. Shoot, nigga better than me, man, shoot. Man, when we was in high school, if a chick asked you for something, it would be a teddy bear. It ain't finna be nothing like this here. You got to drop a few $100. Ain't no way in hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in hell. But that's where we at with it in this society, man. That's where we at with it. Now you feel like a child, a young man in high school is supposed to be a provider. This nigga's a boy. She can't ask her daddy because her mama don't know who he is. He ain't got no daddy, ho. And I ain't finna take his place. You better call God. Don't call me. He said, I think we forget or stop acknowledge the fact that the scriptures were written to a present at a time where people didn't need a bunch of descriptions and explanations. And that is a true story. That is also a true story. And that's why it's difficult for people in this time frame. And that's why some people take off, because at least as the direct audience, these things weren't written to you in the time period that you're living in, because these people didn't have these situations and circumstances that you're trying to juxtapose against it. That's why I've told y'all previously, and this is not in the aspect of advocating for multiple wives, because you find it reprehensible now. But if you would have been alive then, you would have thought nothing of it, because you wouldn't have known anything different. And you can sit here and grit your teeth and stamp your feet and say whatever you want to say. But that's not what you would have done, because you would have done something different. Because you wouldn't have known anything different to have a thought process to find it abhorrent. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Strikes, it was a part of their culture. And it's not something that was rampant. Let me let that be known. Because I know y'all get in y'all mind and y'all see that and you think all these men had multiple wives. They didn't. The overwhelming majority, the mass majority, had one wife. It's not like dudes just sitting around here, I got me 4 wives. No, that's not how they was living. The mass majority of them had one wife. Man, that was reserved for the uber wealthy and kings amongst the house of Yasharal. That's why you don't read nobody outside of Lamech having more than one wife, except for maybe Gideon, a judge. And clearly he had a little something going on. So you don't see that for real, for real. Now you would like, well, Jacob had 4 wives. Jacob wanted one. He had to take the other 2. And then, of course, because it, again, customary, whether you like it or not, if the wife wasn't able to conceive, clearly because Laban had bread, this is why his daughters had handmaids. Because this is another misconception. Everybody during that time period didn't have handmaids. But if your daddy had some money, meaning he had an ample amount of cattle and sheep and things of that sort, then you had handmaids. This is why Rebecca had a nurse, meaning somebody there to nurse her children. Why? Because Rebecca people had money. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some women who pull that from certain people and be like, see, that's why you can't settle for a rich man, because baby, everybody in this book ain't had no money, man. What's wrong with you? He said, well, the more successful family, the more people in general get the work done. And not merely the marriage of multiple wives was always. Indeed. And that's also the fact. Yeah, they had all these handmaids and servants and this, that, there, and the third, because they got bread. But then, of course, the custom was if the wife wasn't able to conceive, she would give you her handmaid. The same way we read about if your brother died and you raise up a seed to your brother, that's what the handmaids were for. It's the opposite of that. Only difference is ain't nobody died. That's how they lived. And you have to learn to understand things from the cultural context of how they lived and not transport your Western mindset on these people, because they didn't live in this God-forsaken place. They didn't have a Western mindset. They didn't have any of that, because the mindset of America, 99.9% of the time, is diametrically opposed to the mindset in this book. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if you think that's about a man having more than one wife, you just a selfish, arrogant bastard. You know what I'm saying? Because you making it about yourself. And it's not about you. It's not about you. You see, Sarah ain't had no minute. Here, take Hagar. Because she didn't know anything different, because that's what they did. Does that mean you have to do that in 2026? No, it doesn't. And I don't know why people don't have enough common sense to know that. You know why? Because you ain't got no handmaid. That don't mean go find somebody you know and say, here, have sex with my friend so we can have a baby. No, man. That person already has to be under the household who he's caring for. And ain't nobody doing all that. Y'all niggas ain't got no servants. You ain't got no Jeffrey at your house. Ain't no Mr. Belvedere at your house. Ain't no nanny, ain't no Fran Dresser, ain't no nanny at your house. You pay them people go home. It's not the same thing. Them handmaids didn't go home. They stayed there. Say I think the attitude of the 17-year-old boy having money is believing he in the streets hustling. Man, the people know them children ain't hustling. Plus, they parents buying designer labels. I know some boys in high school who were paying car notes or saved up money to buy cars because they were selling drugs. And say when I was in high school, I had a job and didn't necessarily look for my dad to keep my hair and nails up. I worked and paid for it myself. Yeah, listen, I believe this wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? Especially if that woman's steady working. As a man, you shouldn't be paying for no woman to get her hair and nails done. The same way your feminine upkeep is your personal responsibility, baby. I'm not paying to get your hair done. Hell no, get your own goddamn hair done. You been getting it done. What the hell make you think I should pay for that? I'm talking about if she has a job. You know what I'm saying? She getting money. You've been paying for that. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. Because if I have to keep your upkeep for you looking good, that means you don't love yourself enough. You waiting on me to do it. Well, I think you should offer it. I think you should go find a nigga to do that then. Because I don't even know you like that. You know what I'm saying? You know who you pay to get their hair and nails done? Your wife, nigga. Your wife. You're not my wife. I'm not paying for none of that. So I guess you're going to be a bald-headed scallywag fooling with me. Because if you're not my wife, I'm not paying for that. And guess what? As a woman, you should tell your son that. You know what's funny? A woman will want every man on the planet to do that except for her son. You know why you don't want your son to do it? Because you know his butt booty hole backwards and he ain't got no business doing it. And the women who tell their son to do it is women who don't like men because she clearly don't like her son. Because I promise you, my mama didn't tell me to do none of that junk. She didn't tell me to do none of that for no woman you ain't married to. If you want to do it, that's your business, but that's not your responsibility nor your obligation. You know, like they say in these days in terms of civic, that's courting. That ain't no goddamn courting. Courting ain't got nothing to do with me buying you nothing or paying for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, you can't court no woman who don't live in her daddy's house when you meet her. Because if she don't live in her daddy's house, guess what she been doing, civic? Living wild and free. You're not worthy of being courted. Because you don't meet the parameters of a woman who would be courted. See, that's the problem with people. You want to interpose ancient customs and practices when you don't meet the standard of the people who participated in those practices. And you can't do that. You can't tell nobody you didn't ask my father for my hand. Did that nigga who hit you in the back at the park, in your bedroom, did he ask your daddy, could he have sex with you? Hell no, he didn't. So you ruined that when you weren't a virgin. You know what I'm saying? You ruined that. And I know it sounds harsh and people ain't got to like it, but that's the reality of the situation. If you want to be treated a certain type of way, then you need to live that type of way. You don't live that type of way, you can't try to get the benefits of a life you don't live. Because in reality, you're trying to play me. That's selfish. You know what I'm saying? Because now you want to take ancient practices and ways and doings and use them as it suits you. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. And what it really does is it teaches the younger woman that it doesn't matter what she does. She can still get the benefit of a woman who didn't do that. And you know what that diminishes? The woman who didn't do that. That's why women say, I did all the right things, but the whore's still winning. What's the purpose of being a good woman? You see that there? No woman should be saying that out of her mouth. Because that shouldn't be her reality. That I wasn't a whore. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I didn't do this. And niggas treat me like trash. But she around here done had 15 penises in her mouth, in her butt, in her right hand, in her left hand. And she got a nigga doing X, Y, Z. And that's why I told you these niggas be lying when they say that they don't like hoes. These niggas do like hoes. Because women who ain't hoes wouldn't be talking like this. Niggas don't want women who ain't hoes. They want that freaky slut. They do. That's what they like. That's what they like. That's who they wife. Give them the world, then get mad when she leaves and take everything. She was a whore when you met her. What you thought she was going to do? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That junk ain't cool, blood. That junk ain't cool. That junk is not cool at all. See, consequently, when I said, hey, you shouldn't, this, that, and the third. Now, see, cooking a meal, one thing. That ain't really that big of a deal. But it ain't that woman's job to come to your house and cook one. Shoot, you shouldn't be going to that nigga house and washing his drawers. You shouldn't be going to that nigga house washing his clothes, cleaning his house. Hell, trying to date that. You don't live there. That's not your husband. What's wrong with you? Like, you shouldn't be doing that either. That's crazy. If you went to that nigga house and say, oh, it's nasty in here, I need to clean up. Shoot, you got to sit back and ask yourself, how this nigga living? If I didn't come over here, was you not going to clean it? Come and tell you something, man. If a nigga house dirty and he getting to some bread, that nigga nasty because his house shouldn't be dirty because he shouldn't even be there enough. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga handling business, he ain't even home enough for his house to get that dirty. So if you come to a grown man's house and that junk look like a hurricane hit it, that's a nasty nigga. I'm telling you, Silvino ain't lying. Well, if you out there handling business to get to it, you really only come home to take a shower and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You ain't there enough to make no mess, and your kitchen ain't finna be filthy. You know what I'm saying? Your bathroom ain't gonna look like a nigga just said, screw it. Now, you might be type of nigga throw your clothes everywhere. I ain't never been one of those. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I never understood that stereotype. Men did, because I be knowing, man, shoot. Because, shoot, women be throwing their clothes around more than I seen men do it. I don't throw my clothes around. It's not that hard, man. Because I don't want to pick that junk up later. I don't want to get damn clothes everywhere. What if I want to lay down? I can't even lay down because I got to do some work first. See, you know what I'm talking about. I want to get in the bed. He like this here. She got all these damn clothes on the bed. I can't even lay down. Look how he laughing. He's like, nah, I can neither confirm or deny. Come back to Deuteronomy 8. We ain't holding nothing.
Deuteronomy 13.
Oh, yeah, run that for me. Verse 5, verse 9.
It said, but you shall surely kill him. Your hand.
Back it up about 7 then.
Say, namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you.
Okay, make it 6. Make it 6. We got to make sure we get the full content.
If your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or the daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your friend.
Or your who?
Or your friend.
Or your wife or your bosom, or your friend.
Which is as your own soul, entice you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known.
Entice you secretly.
Or your fathers. Namely, the gods of the people which are round about you, near unto you.
What he said?
Or far from you, from the one end of their rest, even to the other end of their rest. You shall not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall your eye pity him.
Don't pity.
Neither shall you spare, neither shall you conceal him. But you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first upon him, the first to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. You shall stone him with stones that he die, because he hath sought to thrust you away from you.
That man said, it don't matter who do it, don't listen to him.
Which brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Listen.
And all Yasharah shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this.
Now, we didn't read the verses before that with if the signs and wonders come to pass, he said, Yahuwah will do this to prove you. Just read it for him by verse 3. I'm going to tell you something too real, Chris. Like, at least when I was in high school, most dudes when I was in high school, they weren't selling no drugs. You might have had a couple that were because pitching here and there, but for reality is if they was really selling dope for real, they end up dropping out of school anyway. Because they look at it as I can't do both. Because if that money really coming for them, they stop coming to school. If they still coming to school, they ain't really making no money for real. You know what I'm saying? They going out there to make enough money to buy some sneakers, outfit, maybe a little bit of weed. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know, grab them a little bucket. But if they getting money for real, the boys start coming to school. Yeah, they start coming to school. But a lot of them girls, they were messing with grown men. I'm telling you, I think of this chick right now. I ain't gonna say her name. Beautiful young lady. You know what I'm saying? It's like what, 1999? We working at KFC. She was going to Wilson and she was messing with a nigga who was selling dope. That nigga was a grown man. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about she's 17 and he 19 or 20. He out here hustling. That nigga was a good 24, 25, 26 years old. She like 17. 16 at the youngest. You see what I'm saying? It's a grown man. I'm talking about breaking her back. Niggas ain't had no. And look at man, they all on that. All us growing up done heard that chick. I like older dudes. They more mature. You know what I'm saying? They ain't more mature. That nigga just got money in a car. So you feel like you doing something. Because you looking at niggas your age, he can't come pick you up. Or he got to wait for his mama to let him hold the car. Because, you know, most of us ain't go to no schools where people got money, so your people already bought you a car. And I ain't talking about just bought you a car, but bought you a nice car. You know what I'm saying? So shoot, you dealing with black folks. So she looking at like this here. I want this grown man. He got an apartment. Baby, you messing with a nigga got a 401k. What's going on? You can't even get a bank account without your parents. This don't bother you out? Then you know they like to say when they get grown, I was manipulated. You wasn't manipulated. You knew what you were doing. I'm telling you from what I seen with the girls I grew with, ain't nobody, that's what they wanted. That's what they went after. You know what you were doing. You may have not understood the ramifications and consequences of what you were doing, but you knew what you were doing. And truth be told, a lot of them knew they weren't supposed to be messing with this grown rusty nigga anyway. Man, I knew a dude that used to be like, because the AIDS rate in 32209 zip code was so bad, a nigga like, you got to get him off the school bus. I say, nah, nigga, you nigga, wow. How about just this with a different caliber of woman, bro? I ain't getting nothing off the school bus. That is no grown man. That's crazy. But niggas be on that, though. Niggas be on that, though. Go ahead.
It said, you shall not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahuwah Yahweh prove you to know whether you love Yahuwah your Alahym with all your heart, with all your soul.
Now go back to Deuteronomy 8:3. And that's what we seen with Yahusha, that he loved his Abba with his whole heart and soul, because he humbled him and proved him to see if he would keep his instructions or not, and he kept them.
And he humbled you and suffered you to hunger and fed you with manna which you knew not.
Now this is the part what I wanted to focus on, the manna which you knew not. Go to John 1:1. Because remember, he said he that hidden manna, right? He said this is a manna that they didn't know about. He said, your father did eat manna in the wilderness and are what? Dead. Now let's go to John 1:1.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Alahym, and the Word was Alahym. The same was in the beginning with Alahym. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
That's right.
And him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shined in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from Alahym, whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which light every man that come into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
And the world
knew him not.
Knew him what?
Knew him not.
Now go to John 6:37. Or really about 6:45.
It is written in the prophets, they shall be all taught of Alahym. Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of the Abba come unto me. Not that any man have seen the Abba, save he which is of Alahym, he have seen the Abba. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believe on me have everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which come down from Shamayim, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from Shamayim.
That's right.
If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world.
So when we come back to Deuteronomy 8:3.
And he humbled you and suffered you to hunger and fed you with manna which you knew not.
Now we looking at Yahushua. He fed you with manna which you knew not, because he came into his own, and his own received, and they didn't know him. Remember, they said if you would have known, you wouldn't have killed them. Go ahead.
Neither did your fathers know. He might make you know that men do not live by bread only.
But every
word that proceed out of the mouth of Yahuwah do man live.
Your raiment
wax not old upon you.
Neither did your
foot swell these 40 years.
You shall also consider
in your heart that as a man chasten his son, so Yahuwah your Alahym chasten you.
Now we can come back to that part, y'all willing, on tomorrow, because we about 2 hours and 15 minutes in. You did, and I'm not finna try to press that out. This fourth is the chastening, again, which is the instruction, the musar. Remember, blessed is whom he chasten out of his law or instruct. We talk about that many times. Discipline in of itself is not corporal punishment or the physical striking. Now, of course, we can look at the proverb that y'all know very well: chasten your son while there is hope and spare not for his crying. Because also the affliction or the humbling or the testing is to prove what's in your heart, and then through the proving of your heart, that's where the chastening come in at, or the instruction is made. See, those two things go hand in hand, and a lot of times we don't couple those things together. You know what I'm talking about? But that's something I would tell him Mother earlier, right? I think the boy has something, and I'm like, some things you don't, especially with little boys, some things you don't take from them. Sometimes you have to let him learn. Sometimes you have to let life teach them when they don't want to follow instruction. But this is also why I told you that when you give an instruction, you give a detailed reason why you're giving the instruction, the rhyme, reason, and purpose of giving the instruction. See, most Black people feel like I shouldn't have to do that with a child because I'm the parent and they're the child. And I can understand why you would see it that way. But when you look at the standpoint that if you've ever been a part of any type of leadership training, counseling, teaching, or anything of the sort, that's not how they teach you to lead people or teach people. They do not. You know what I'm saying? They teach you to make sure that whatever you instruct these people to do, that you try to make it as clear as possible of why you want them to do something or why they should not do something, and the reason why you don't want them to do it. Because that way they can be able to make an informed decision, or they can understand the consequence of the bad decision. When it's just as simply because I said so or because I told you to, they won't understand the negative ramifications that can come from making that bad decision. Which is why some Black people made so many bad decisions, and because they didn't understand the consequences that was going to come about by doing this, because nobody told them. And that's where the curiosity come in at when you tell somebody not to do something, and now they want to know, well, why you don't want me to do it? Now I'm curious. Now they're going to start singing the song. You know that song, don't you? I'm curious about your loving. You don't know that?
I ain't clicking.
Damn. You done heard. You know Smile, don't you? Lil Duval Smile. That's the song. Oh, this nigga here, man. God damn. What that people had it playing for this man. Man, what y'all had going on around there? Midnight Star? This it? This don't do nothing for you? No, this don't do nothing for you. Don't do nothing for you?
I think I don't hear that.
That's a Jacksonville, Florida classic, boy. That's why he sampled that record. You know what I'm saying? Well, your people did you dirty, man. You say you don't know nothing. I'm curious about your loving. I'm curious. I want to know what's on your mind. That boy said, I really gotta have it. That boy serious about that. Boy said, I'm curious about that loving. I need to know. You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, though, that's why that happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why kids do certain stuff. You feel me? Because they don't be knowing. You just tell them not to do something. That's one thing I learned as a youth that I noticed. Like, boy, you tell a girl not to do something, but she finna go do that because she want to know why you don't want her to do it. And you getting frustrated, but it's really the curiosity. What's so bad about this that you don't want me to do it? But when you lay that instruction out, they can know what's so bad about it. So that when they do it, damn, I'm stupid. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Richard. Therefore,
you shall keep the commandments of Yahuwah your Alahym to walk in his ways and to fear him.
Go ahead.
He said, for Yahuwah your Alahym bring you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranate, a land of oil olive and honey, a land where you shall eat bread without scarceness. You shall not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you may dig grass.
And when you have eaten
and are full,
you shall bless
Yahuwah your Alahym for the good land which he hath given.
But beware
that you forget not Yahuwah your Alahym, and not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes which I command you this day.
Lest
when you have eaten and are full,
and have built
goodly houses
and dwelt
therein.
And when
your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied,
and all that you have
is multiplied,
and your heart be lifted up,
and you forget Yahuwah your Alahym,
which brought you
forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Paul, this is why you can read what you read in Proverbs 30. When he said, "They give me poverty nor riches, not poverty, lest I steal and I take the name of Yahuwah my Alahym in vain, nor riches, lest I forget Yahuwah." You know what I'm saying? That's why he say that, because it's based off what's in the law. That's where he get this from. Because he's looking for, just give me what I need. Because I'm telling you, if God telling you, we could take it to the bank. Because we read in Ezekiel 16, boy, them riches increase, boy. Boy, niggas forget God, boy. Go read Proverbs 30, man, and 5, man, or 6, whichever one it is. Niggas forget God, bro. And it ain't even necessarily nothing that anybody's doing intentionally. It's not like you intentionally going about to do that. You feel me? And this is not saying that every person who that's, you know what I'm saying? Because that man say if riches increase, don't set your heart on. You know what I'm talking about? There's a reason why he say that. It's the reason why Paul wrote what he wrote in 1 Timothy 6, because these things can happen because you have to remember that you are a human being. And you can get caught up real quick. Especially when stuff go to click and stuff start going your way. Nigga be like, hey, he telling them that here in Deuteronomy. Clearly they did it. You did? So go ahead.
So every word of Alahym is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
Mm-hmm.
Add you not unto his words, lest he reprove you and be
right.
found a liar. 2 things have I required of you. Deny me them not.
Deny me them not.
Remove far from me vanity and lies.
Remove far from me worthlessness and lies.
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Poverty nor riches.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
What else?
Lest I be full and deny you. Say, who is Yahuwah?
Lest I be full and deny you.
Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my Alahym in vain.
See, he was looking for the dichotomy of, I don't want to be in either boat. You know what I'm saying? Now, and we just read in Deuteronomy, he said, hey, then your heart be lifted up and you're going to forget me. Meaning you're not going to zakar. I'm not going to come to your remembrance. Come back to Deuteronomy 8 and 15. Read 14 again.
Then your heart be lifted up and you forget Yahuwah your Alahym, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, wherein there was no water.
And he brought you forth
out of the rock of flint.
Fed you in the wilderness with what?
With manna.
With your fathers, that he might humble.
And that he might prove you.
To do you
good at the latter end.
See how that tied back to Yahushua being that manner that they didn't know, so he could humble them and prove them, so he could do good to them at their latter end. We'll come revisit that as it pertains to the chastening in verse 5, y'all willing on tomorrow. Come on.
And you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand have gotten me this wealth.
He say, my what?
The might of my power and my hand have gotten me this wealth.
That's why he says, seek not, flee from these things, O man of Alahym. That's why Paul wrote that to Timothy. Follow after love, peace, righteousness. That's why he told him that. Because again, you are a human being. And man, you can find yourself in a I don't want to say a trap per se, but a cycle of behaviors, the way you forget God, man, before you even know it. Which is why we read now, of course, it was a little different in Luke when he say, hey, man, who made me a divider? You know what I'm saying? They don't come at me with that type of junk. But he was letting that man, a man's life don't consist in that. Because remember, covetousness is idolatry. That means that's what you desire. And where your treasure is, your heart will be also. So these are all these things that we have to pay attention to keep our heart in check. This is how the beast's going to be able to get people, because if your life consists of the abundance of things that you possess, and he say you can't buy or sell unless you enter into a covenant with me, then you'll forsake God to maintain what you got because of your desire for it. You know what I'm saying? So these things it's not that these things are bad, because money's not bad in of itself. It's an inanimate object. You know what I'm talking about? Material items are not bad within themselves because they're inanimate objects. But the desire that an individual has for them is where the wickedness can come from. And that's what we have to keep abated and in check. Or like he said in Ezekiel, you know, they hear your words, but they won't do them because their heart go after their covetousness. And again, when we look at that covetousness, it's really about desire. Your heart going after your desires, which is why you say where your heart is, where your treasure is, your heart will be also. That which you desire, that's where your inward man gonna be at. If you desire the things that are in Shamayim, then your inward man will be in Shamayim. If you desire the things of the earth, then your God is your belly, and you're gonna mind earthly things. Which means you cursed at the serpent because he go about his belly because he mind earthly things. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dichotomy that we got to make sure that we're aware of. Vanity is pure emptiness and will lead to a mental collapse. It do. See, I be wanting to preface this stuff because, some people will make it seem like people are wicked because they want to produce things for themselves and have a certain standard of living and this, that, and the third. And there's absolutely, and I mean absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's too many brews anyway in the word that make it seem like you should just be poor and this, that, there, and the third. And I don't say that. Will some of us be poor? Sure. Will some of us not be poor? Absolutely. Will some of us be rich? Probably a small amount. You know what I'm talking about? But nevertheless, it ain't about none of that. Because rich, poor, middle class, lower middle class, you can make it into the kingdom and you can go to hell. Because it's not going to be your riches or wealth that leads you to either place. It's going to be the desires of your heart, which is going to dictate how your feet move. You know what I'm talking about? But let's continue.
They say, but you shall remember Yahuwah your Alahym, for it is he that gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore unto your fathers, as it is this day.
And it shall be.
If you do at all forget Yahuwah your Alahym and walk after other gods and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that you shall surely perish.
You shall surely perish.
As the nations which Yahuwah destroy before your face, so shall you perish, because you would not be obedient unto the voice of Yahuwah your Alahym.
Man, that's good, man. We'll say hallelujah for Yahushua, man. We stop right there. We'll come back on tomorrow, try to hit verse 5 and verse 16 of Deuteronomy 8. We'll see what we got left. We got Jeremiah 5, Proverbs 6 with some small points. Some small points in Ruth. Judges 1, Numbers 1, 2 Samuel 13, Zechariah 4, Lamentations 5, Obadiah, Nehemiah 2, Esther 2. And you'll rock that out like that. But always remember that at least with the key point of the testing and trying, man. You feel me? Because he want to see what's in your heart, man. And the only reality to see what's in your heart is the peace, brother, my man, is to be in situations and circumstances that will reveal it. Now, I know some people they like to pull tests on people. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to test her and see if she going to do this here. I wouldn't do that with people per se. And I know some people like, why would God do that? But the testing is to make plain before heaven and earth where your heart's at. Amen, Sister Regina. Shalom. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You see what I mean? It's just how it goes. It is what it is. So when we look at Yahushua being humble, peace, brother, on my one love, man. When you look at him being humbled and tested, it's to prove, man, like, is you going to do, I told you to die. Is you going to die? Is you going to do like the prophet did and say, you know what? Shalom, brother Shaul, man. I'm gonna go ahead and stay here. You feel me? You know, it is what it is. I appreciate y'all. Bless y'all the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua, Yahuwah, willing, man. Till tomorrow, man, make it do what it do. Till then. Civic boy, you been working on you some rap. Well, you been working on you